All right. Well, apologize for the late start. Can't find my glasses. I don't know where I left them. It's either at the Cafe Amazon or at the pharmacy, or they're just gone, or they're laying around somewhere in the house. Maybe the cat's playing with them. I don't know, but I can't find them, and I need them because I'm blind when it comes to close reading. Close up. Um, Now we got a lot to go over today. Actually, fair amount. Some interesting stuff. But first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining me. If you're watching, that's really all that matters. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd be so kind, and don't forget to leave. Click that bell for the notification so you'll get notified whenever I'm putting something up. And there are a fair amount of things going up in the near future. Also, tomorrow I'll be streaming. I'll be out in Bangkok, out and about. I'm not quite sure yet, but I want to get out of this neighborhood. It's been a little bit too long since I got out. It's been about a week, I think, since I streamed and met with Lori over there in the Starbucks in, where was it? Prakanong. And I just feel like I got to get out of Bangkok a little bit, and you guys need to see a little bit something different. So that's good. The U.S. dollar right now, 30 baht, 30.03 to the dollar, and air quality is 105, which is still unhealthy. And right now, although it is, even though I have the air on in my house, it is kind of hot, so that's not a good thing. When the air is on, I just turned it on a little while ago, but when the air is on and it's hot in my house, I know it's going to be a hot day. It's 84 degrees, high of 91, low of 75. We got 10% chance of rain, 67% humidity, winds south 8 miles an hour, and it already feels like 91 degrees. And it's 9:10 in the morning here. Visibility is 6 miles an hour. Yeah, I got to try to read here to hold the paper up. Today, we're going to be talking about a few things. First of all, we're going to talk about Thai women, how you don't want to piss them off. That's not a good thing to do. We all know that a woman scorned hath, what is it? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And, some men, I guess, but I got an example of this, and it didn't turn out pretty. Also, we are going to be talking about how Thailand is mulling over waiving the quarantine for vaccinated tourists, and then what that entails, what people will need to do if they come in, and what do Thais think about foreigners being forced to be vaccinated? Those people who are living in the country, those foreigners living in the country, what do the Thais think? They were polled, and you might be surprised at what they said. Also, there are new toilets being put in. I sound like some guy, like, hey, there's no toilets down at the rec center. Aren't we? Aren't aren't we lucky? Actually, these are state of the art toilets, just kind of like the ones in Terminal 21 and the ones you would find in Japan, or and we're not talking about the standard bum gun. We're talking about high end, warm your rear end, play music to you, powder your tushy kind of uh, kind of toilets. And you'd be surprised, they're going over quite well right now. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Plus, we've got right now in the green room, we have Mr. Soy Dog Cowboy. We also have Patia Pete. I don't know where Patia Bob is. We tried to get uh, Bum Gun Chuck, but he's got something to do. He's got prior arrangements. And also, we're going to have Lori back in the stream. And you might be a little surprised. She's still in Bangkok. She never left. She didn't leave. So that's good to know. Anyway, let me bring in the boys. I don't know where Lori is, if she's powdering her face and getting ready to come in or what the deal is. But good morning, Tom. Good morning, John. Good morning, everybody. First, let me bring in, there he is, the one and only, the one and only, the one and only, the whole head in this stream. So how's everything going? And because I've been really busy and I have been going through a lot of things with my kids and get things ready and
I know the big trip's coming up.
He's got the big trip, and he's got all kinds. I'm jealous too, but you know what? I'm happy for him. You know.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and between that and
school,
they're both of them are playing music, and they've got some things going on right now. So I'm pretty busy right now with that. But anyway, let's bring in also Patya Pete. He's in here. No making fun of his thick German accent because I'm sure that you'll be able to understand it. We don't need to hear Das Boot or
Schnell. Ich bin ein Berliner.
I know nothing.
I know nothing.
Let's see.
All.
There he is.
That's a view.
Look at that view.
My balcony.
It's your balcony, eh?
Yeah, wow. From my balcony there.
Now, do you live in the same place as Patty and Bob?
No,
definitely not. I'd recognize it. No.
Bob lives on the beach road with sea view, and I living in the center, so I have about 1 kilometer to the beach. So no beach view for me.
Yeah, he said he might come in this morning, but he said he's got everything set up at his place, and he may come in. So hopefully he will. But
Scott,
I don't know.
Scott, where were those toilets being installed? You didn't mention it.
I'll get into it shortly.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember, to tell you the truth, but supposedly I remember that 12,000 of them have already been installed. So,
All right.
I have, what? Hopefully I'll be able to read that. Let me see something here. So yeah, that's always good news. We've got to take care of we got to take care of things. Down yonder. I don't want to get into that too much, but it is good to have. Listen, I was talking to, I think it was Jono, and I said, and I've said this before, and I don't want to get too far into this, especially not yet. Usually we wait until the end of the stream to get into these kind of things. But, the thing is that people don't even think about it. They've been brought up to toilet paper for so long. And I was, one of these people. But if you think about it, imagine if you smeared feces on your arm and then just got some paper and wiped it off.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting. So now you have the bum gun here, which surprisingly, Bum Gun Chuck doesn't use the bum gun. Not even yet. He still hasn't used it. But these toilets are like the creme de la creme of toilets, and they're not that expensive to use for most people. So anyway, but before I go on, like I said, please leave a thumbs up and all that good stuff. Look down in the description. There's a plethora of ways that you can help support the channel, help support my endeavors, whatever they may be, whether it's sitting behind a desk. I'm in my pad right now because I got a bunch of things going on, and I've got to take care of them. I got some errands, and I don't want to be sitting in the mall and then going, I'm going to go get something to eat. I have to get these things done. So, yeah, that's why I'm home. But tomorrow I'll be running around and, John S. says, Soy Dog Cowboy has the Robert De Niro look going on.
You're
a little
me?
bit. Yeah, you do a little bit. I'd say let me see here. We got to take a closer look at him. But,
you talking to me?
The nose is not quite right. It's not enough. It's not broken.
I don't see anyone else here.
And I think the chin is just a little pointier than De Niro's.
Yeah, I don't look anything like Robert De Niro. So, but thanks anyway.
Well, I don't know. Robert De Niro looks like Soy Dog Cowboy. So
Oh,
anyway, so yeah, Patia Pete, what's going on?
1 second.
In Pattaya, we have now a little change. We went from orange to yellow for
That's
the
right.
COVID thing.
Right.
That means immediately we can have our bars open until midnight. That means a little bit past midnight. Not that it will change a lot, but it's a direction. We're going in the right direction.
Now, are you a barfly, Patia Pete?
No, I'm not
Do you
going
hang
a
out
lot
in
to
the bars?
bars.
But
No.
you have some news for us all here. Patia Pete has a new girlfriend.
Oh, well,
Ah.
that will be seen. That will be seen. It's way too early to say that.
Okay.
Way
So
too early.
she's just a friend at this point, a close friend.
Yes. A,
You
a
say this
friend
best
in
friend.
prospect.
She's a she's a prospect. Oh God, be careful what you wish for. You know what I mean. So
Yes.
how's Patia Bob doing? Is he feeling
Mm.
better?
Yeah, I just chatted with him before I went online. So he 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 hadn't slept well, so now he tries to wake up and maybe he will join us. I'm not sure, but he will maybe give you a notice.
Well, I did send him a little stream link, and I don't know where our female cohort is, but she's not in. She she asked me to send her a wake up call. And I tell you what, I'm going to get into that, what happened with her, even though she's not here, but she can talk about it a little bit more. Basically, um, she was supposed to get her COVID test last week, and for some reason they said, "Oh no, you don't need it. You just got to get it when you go back to Hawaii or something like that." And so she didn't get it. She was going to get it when she got to Hawaii before she went into the country, into the state. And so she went to the airport last night, and she had all her paperwork and everything, but she didn't have the test, and so they wouldn't even let her fly. That's just for international flying. You must have been vaccinated now, or the test results, rather. I'm sorry, not the vaccine. You have to have the test results. So they didn't let her on.
Now,
So,
does she get this? Will they reschedule her without a fee,
well,
or like?
I don't know if she had to pay a fee. She just sent me a message saying, basically swearing and cursing that she can't believe it, but she can't fly. And she did say that she changed her flight, and I think she said she's leaving. What's today? Wednesday. I think she's leaving tomorrow. And they did change the flight for her. She's leaving tomorrow, and she's got to go get her test this afternoon. So, yeah, it's good. And I think she has to be back to work or something by Monday, so she has just enough time to get back. But it's always nice to have a couple days to get prepared to go back to work. And then when you arrive, the night before you have to go back to work, as opposed to 2 or 3 days before, it's always to me, it's always a little more difficult. I don't like that. I don't like coming back and it's 11 o'clock at night. No, I got to leave and be to work at 8 in the morning.
Oh, the
I never
worst.
liked that.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, prospect chick. Yes, Carlos, how you doing? At least you've got a prospect now. What was I going to say? Thought everyone knew you can't go back to Zoom without a negative test. Obviously not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that everything was taken care of. I don't even think about it. And I just, with her, it was just kind of like, you ready to go? Yeah, okay. Now, I'm sure she also didn't have her passport.
Oh, God.
She sent me a message. She said, I can't find my passport. I said, nah, you're lying. You're joking. No, I don't know where it is. And so apparently she changed money at Super Rich, and they forgot to give it back to her, and she just forgot about it. So she, it's like 4 hours before she's supposed to fly, and she's like, "Wow, where's my passport?"
Oh God, that's heart attack
Oh.
time.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Excellent.
I've had that happen, and I actually lost a passport many years ago. And then every time I came to Thailand for like 8, 10 years, they would stop me and they would say, "1 moment, sir," and they would have to either walk away or they'd have to call somebody over. That person would put some unlock code or whatever into the system, and then they would say to me, "You lost your passport, didn't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, like 6 years ago," you know. And they'd be like, "Okay, no problem." And then I'd go through. And so finally, when I had to update my passport and get the new one, that dropped off. But I was like, man, what a pain in the neck. I mean, it made things difficult for a while because sometimes they would hold me and they'd say, "You need to step to the side" or whatever. Yeah, it's funny now, and it's funny because listen, it wouldn't be funny uh, the day after if she wasn't able to fly and she's going, "I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to go to the embassy and get a new one and go through all this." It's funny in that sense, and it is funny if it's not you, but at least she found it. She's on her way. She's just got to take the steps now, and she'll be back home soon. So listen, when you're ready to go back, it sucks. I remember flying over and being so elated, so happy coming over. I'll be there in 14 hours. It's only 7 hours more. And I'd be, on the plane going, "Oh, when are we going to get there? Oh, 3 more hours." And I'd be sitting there I couldn't sleep sometimes. But then on the way back, especially if I had a great time, and the first couple times I just had, fantastic times. I was just in a new world. And I just remember going back, flying back, and I'd be listening to music, and I'd hear some song, and it'd be some, sad love song or sad, "Don't say goodbye. I don't want you to say goodbye," kind of song, and I'd just be sitting there going, "I can't believe I got to go back. I don't want to go back. I just want to stay in Thailand for a little bit longer. So anyway, all right. Well, now as I said. Uh, when you're messing around with Thai women, and when I say messing around, I mean whether you're in a strong relationship, a good relationship, or whether you're in a relationship like this guy was in, which is basically, he was messing around with a married woman, which that doesn't go over in most people's book. It doesn't sit well with a lot of people. I mean, some people can just move on and they don't care, and some people end up doing things that will haunt them for the rest of their life. This guy was a Muay Thai teacher who actually worked at a gym, and I'm looking right now, and I see a song towel that actually comes to Happy Land, where all the song towels there's one song towel in particular that I take, and there's a lot of song towels in minibuses, and this one is showing in the picture, and that one goes to Happy Land. And so it was in Ramkhamhaeng, the area, and it was Ramkhamhaeng too. He had a Muay Thai gym, or he worked at a Muay Thai gym there. It says the former student and teacher hadn't seen each other for a long time. The body of Dang Malitong, 46 years old, nicknamed. And actually, I may know this guy because I knew a guy named Wee Chan. He was a really good fighter, and he's about the same age. So I'm not sure yet if this is the same guy, but his name is Wee Chan Noi Jep Yao, and that was his fighting name. He was found near his white Toyota sedan on Soy Anut 19 on February 22nd. A 7-inch knife, believed to be the murder weapon, was found 50 meters from the car in the grass. A busted up cell phone was found near the knife as well. Police brought in former lover and student of Malitong. In a former lover and student of Malitong for interrogation. That woman was Miss Ploy Pailin Kunanukon Kun, age 32. Eventually, Ms. Mrs. Oh no, it's Ms. It is Ms. here. Ms. Ploy Pailin admitted to killing the Muay Thai teacher. She said that she hadn't seen him for a long time. The two met up for unknown reasons. She said the motive was personal vengeance and that she acted alone. Investigators said they brought in a Mr. Oat, a close friend of Ms. Ploy Pailin's, who may have had disagreements with the deceased as well. They are questioning Mr. Oat to see if he was involved or coerced Ms. Ploy Pailin to meet the victim. Mr. Dang was a teacher at a Muay Thai boxing camp in Ramkhamhaeng 2. Witnesses said that at 10 p.m., they heard people shouting. They went to check the scene and found the deceased victim. The victim had a family and one child. According to another report, the victim carried on a relationship with the suspect when she had a husband. The husband learned that she was cheating and secretly dating the deceased. The suspect's husband did attack the victim with a car and hit the victim in the past. The victim was also tricked into, listen to this, the victim was also tricked into meeting a group of people who said they wanted to practice boxing, but they attacked him instead.
Well, they did practice boxing.
Yeah. The incident was reported to the Udom Suk police station. I know exactly where that is. The victim took his family to Suphanburi after this incident. Okay, so after he got beat up, he took his family away and thought, oh, it's too dangerous. And they've got pictures of the guy's car, and they're covered in, the car's smeared in blood. It's not pretty.
Did she do the reenactment yet? And point to the car?
Well, they're interrogating this Mr. Oat, and once they find out the details and come up with more, they're supposed to put it up. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen? But I suspect that this woman, she's going to end up. They're going to find out that either he, maybe he wanted to just have he just wanted to have a little liaison, to take care of his needs or her needs or whatever. And then she got pissed when he said, hey, it's not going to work. I just, it's just a one-time deal. I don't want to have some relationship. Who knows what the reasons are, but they'll come out. But this just goes to show you that you don't mess around. And, Thai women take it. You may think that it's okay to do whatever you want and go run around, but Thai women take it very seriously. It's a huge loss of face to them.
Well, how about that story with the police officer that got married and the monk was blessing him in the ceremony?
Yeah. And the mother came in.
His wife shows up.
And the wife and the mother came in and hit him over the head.
His mother, by the way. It wasn't even her mother. It was his mother that showed up. And what are you doing?
Wow.
I mean,
I know it's strange. Just heard before the stream that Tiger Woods was in a rollover accident driving an unfamiliar vehicle on unfamiliar windy roads in California. Used the jaws of life for instruction. Wow, he's had some rough time the past 10 years. Now, I don't understand. I mean, it seems to me that he was going out with that chick, the skier. What was her name?
Lindsey Vonn.
Okay, and she looks great. But I think probably she may be a little bit of a high maintenance or kind of a head case or something. That's my take on it.
Well, he's with this other woman for a while now, this new one, not much of a looker, but
really?
Yeah. But, his personal life has been a little choppy, both from a personal, relationship standpoint and from a physical standpoint. He's had multiple surgeries, and now, this accident he's had, his ankle was shattered and he had a compound fracture. So it was really bad. Then this is something that will really affect his career. Yeah, really bad. The cliff, basically, these roads, apparently, so what I read, are very treacherous. They're windy. If you don't familiar with them, you got to be careful. And I don't know how it happened. It was a one-car accident. No other cars were involved. And you immediately start thinking he's drunk again. But I don't think that was the case here. And he rolled over the side, and there was a cliff and it just like tumbled over and over again down this cliff until it settled down, and that's why he had such massive injuries.
Wow.
The pictures were wild. He's lucky to be alive out of this one.
Yeah.
He really is. So,
when I was 17 years old, I was in New Mexico. Okay, and I was in Alamogordo, New Mexico, and I went out. I was going to a party with a couple of guys. Well, we went to the party. These people lived up in the hills, and we were coming back down the mountain. That's what it was, a mountain. And we were drunk and stoned and smoking Hawaiian pot because there were Hawaiian guys there. It was a Hawaiian guy's house, and we came down the mountain. And we rolled the car and slid on the roof of the car.
Jesus.
I don't know how far it was, but we slid down. And like I was in the front seat, and one of the guys in the front seat was in the back seat. He ended up in the back seat, and one of the guys was going, "Hey, is everybody okay? I think I'm in the back seat." And he was a guy in the front seat still, and he thought he was in the back seat. He was so disorientated, and so then later that morning, I was like, man, I can't move my neck. I went in and I had 2 fractured vertebrae in my neck, and the car was totaled, and we were like, you know what? I can't believe we all made it out. We were pretty much uninjured. I mean, my neck was bad, but it wasn't bad enough where, it didn't really do anything aside from some lasting pain. It didn't really do anything that bad, I didn't lose a limb or anything like that.
Right.
But we were all really, really fortunate. When we got out of that, then we finally sobered up and everything. We were like, holy shit. Can't believe we made it out of that. It was like a Gran Torino or what the hell was? Oh, a Monte Carlo. That's what it was.
That's
we were in a Monte Carlo.
I love those cars.
It took the damage, man. It took the damage. All right. So what's this? Any word of? No, I don't know about that. I haven't heard anything about Patia Pete.
You?
Do you know about that case where all the customers were scammed by the bank manager?
Yes, I know about that.
Has anybody got their money back?
No. I don't think they will see it ever again. It is told that the family has some houses and cars, but it's not in her name, so maybe it was transferred and then
I don't know why the bank wouldn't be held responsible. He's the manager.
And that is by law in Thailand. The banks do not have the liability for their stuff, as far as I know, and that's
crazy to me.
That's a real problem.
Why put your money in a bank?
Yeah, exactly. Hang on 1 second. All right, let me do this. You guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, imagine you think that the bank would care for that and would pay for your loss because one of the employees made the problem, but actually it's not like that. And it's also that the tellers there at the bank, at the managers, they're somehow not even employees. They are like little companies, and
that's what I thought.
That's
right,
crazy. Very different.
If you wake up, we're all streaming. I already told people you're still
here. That is insane,
You had a little issue.
It's not covered by a bank. I had no idea. I thought the banks did cover.
I'm at home. Yeah.
I know they cover some things, so maybe it's just death by employees they don't cover, which is weird.
Adam and Patia Pete in the stream,
but that's crazy to me. That is not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange, but it really is like that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
And you wonder why people don't want to, put their money in the banks there.
Yeah, that's good. Right.
And it's strange because Thailand has no debt, as we discussed the other day. They could afford to, like the FDIC here in the States, cover losses. To me, a bank that doesn't protect you from.
Maybe the reason that they're not in debt is because they're not covering their losses.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I know some banks do cover, so but it depends really on the setup of the bank. So the different companies do. But the most common thing has to do with their working contracts with their employees, because they're really like little own companies. Every employee is his own company, and so if something happens, then that company of the employee is responsible. Most people don't know that, so but it does not affect if you have a credit card like an American Express card and then they scam there something, then your American Express company will take care of all that. But
Yeah. They're very good.
yeah,
Do
if
you have
you have
one, Pastor Pete? Do you have American Express?
no, I have a Visa card. I have a debit Visa card here, but only a certain
Yeah.
amount on it because I'm afraid that gets scammed or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm very careful, and I don't want that I have a real credit card, which is actually very difficult to get here in Thai, real credit card. But with a
Yeah.
debit card, I can put a certain amount on it, and if it got stolen, scammed, or something, then only this amount can be gone. And not they cannot push me into debts and buy a car or some crazy stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's an
I mean,
interesting thing. By the way, Scott, and this is the one thing that bugs me, and I may, when I come there, buy a phone there. You were talking about the cashless society yesterday, right? Well, I cannot download the Starbucks app on my phone.
no, you
Uh,
have to have a iTunes Thailand. You have to have an address or a iTunes that is set up in Thailand. And I have two. I have the U.S.
Ask
address and the
ask
Thai
Pattaya
address.
Bob. He has problems with this too.
I have no problem. All you have to do is you can change the country, and so you change the country and add an address in Thailand. And you don't, and I don't know if you have to add a payment method, but I don't think so. You need to if you want to use it and add things or whatever. But I do it all the time. I mean, because I don't do it now because I've stopped using my Starbucks app. But I've
yeah.
updated it many times, and the trick is you go in, you change the country, okay, and you go in that your country is Thailand, and then
Right.
you put in an address and everything, and then you save it, and then it shows as a Thai address. So the Thai iTunes is different from the U.S. iTunes because in the U.S. you're going to get a U.S. Starbucks app.
Or a Google Play, obviously,
Yeah,
either way.
yeah. Sorry.
Well, the thing is that it's funny because I go back and forth. Now, I don't know if you could always change back and forth. I
You
remember
can.
once, okay, so that's good. And
I've
the
done
other
it
thing,
probably 30 times. In fact, there was a movie that I wanted to watch. It was about the Congo, and I know the guy, and or I know he knows me, I know him, kind of thing. We don't really know each other very well, but anyway, he had released this movie, and I tried to get it through the U.S. iTunes, and it was like not available. I'm like, what the hell? It says it's available. Then it was just in the U.S. It hadn't become available yet because he hadn't done the rounds in the U.S. But in Thailand, it was available, so I just downloaded it, and now I have it forever. I bought it.
yeah,
So,
I mean, it's funny. There's things like I want to get Thai Netflix, for example. I've used a VPN, but it still doesn't give me the Thai version of Netflix.
well, why
And
don't you? What's the problem with that? You
well,
have a bank account, right?
no, I don't.
And you don't have a card here,
Right.
but you have an address, or you will.
Right.
So if you have an address and you have a card that's based in Thailand, then it's very easy. Let me see something because I forget how did I? Oh, right now I'm paying. I know how I'm doing it. I'm paying through Bangkok Bank. I have a debit card through Bangkok Bank. I have all debit cards in the U.S. and in Thailand, but I have an American Express that I got here in Thailand.
Right. I have my cards, here, based here. There are ways to make your computer think that you're in Thailand, not just from a VPN. You change the language, you change all that stuff. But I haven't had success because I want to get a lot of the Thai shows.
I'm telling you exactly how you do it.
Here in the States, though.
Well, I don't know about it in the States. Maybe they don't allow it. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing I'm trying
because Yeah, I don't know how you do that. I'm talking about if you come over here and you just want Thai Netflix, then that's how you do it. If you want what would you want the Starbucks app in the U.S.?
I
You
have
want a
that.
Thai Starbucks app in the U.S., you don't need it. But when you come over here, you can download it and you can rename it to say, Starbucks Thailand, and then you have Starbucks US or whatever. And then anytime you need to do an update or put money or something like that, you just use the specific app. Because I've had to go through all that stuff, and I can download the app right now if I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll figure it out. I was thinking of just getting a separate phone anyway for Thailand when I get there, and I'll keep my other phone, turned off but in case I
Yeah,
need
but
to.
well, you should do that. But that's still not going to take care of the Netflix and the iTunes,
Well,
because
no, if I get a
you're still
Thai
going to have
phone,
to put the information into your iTunes and set up the iTunes accounts. Your iTunes isn't on a cloud, so it doesn't matter where you are. If you have that phone and it's a different phone, even if it's in Thailand, it's going to show your US iTunes. You see, unless you set up a Thai iTunes.
or yeah, Google Place thing. Yeah, I'd have to do all of
Right.
that. So,
Right.
um, we'll see.
So what I was going to say though, you got here. Um, let's see here.
That was Lori. Is she coming on?
She's going to come on in a few minutes. She's like I said, she's doing up her face or whatever. In my opinion, best protected bank in Thailand for deposits, either Citibanks or UOB. I've never ever had a problem with any of these banks, but that's purely anecdotal. What I will say is that my Amex card, I got it many years ago when I had some real money, and it's an Amex Platinum, and I can tell you that Amex is fantastic when it comes to their customer service. I was in a position in, I think it was, where the hell was I? Vietnam. And I couldn't get any cash out of the ATM for some reason. My bank wouldn't let it. They locked my account, and I only had a little bit of money. And the hotel was like, yeah, we need to you need to pay us with the same card or whatever. And I was like, what? I'm like, let me just give you cash. Wherever they go, well, if you give us cash, that's fine. I couldn't get out enough cash because I was staying there for like 3 days. I couldn't get out enough cash because I just didn't have that much in the Thai account. I, generally don't have much in the Thai accounts. And so I had my Amex card, and I needed, I don't know how much I needed, but I needed some additional cash too. I didn't want to have to screw around and go back and forth all the time. So I just called up Amex and I said, this is what I need. Can you allow me to take this much out? And they were like, okay, you should, give it 10 minutes and you're set. And so, Amex has saved my ass several times.
Yeah, I like Amex. I have them.
Their
Although
service is great. And, even now, during the COVID, they allow people, if they really want, the people can say, I don't want to make a payment. I don't want to pay on my card during the COVID. And they will allow them to not pay. They just can't use the card during that time. When they start paying again, then they can use it. So, for some people, it's a good thing because maybe they don't have the money to continue to pay every month, right now. So, that's one thing about Amex. Anyway, let's move on here. Now, as I said, that Thailand is mulling over the waiving of the quarantine for vaccinated foreigners. Just a couple of days ago, I was talking about how they were talking about reducing the quarantine time to like 5 days and maybe 3 days. And I don't think they've finalized anything, and that's why they're kicking around all these ideas. But it says foreigners visiting. This article says foreigners visiting Thailand may be allowed to skip the 2-week isolation if they furnish vaccine certificates, but authorities will continue to track them. Prayut said after a cabinet meeting in Bangkok Tuesday, the government will carefully consider all aspects of such a move before implementing, the prime minister said. The Southeast Asian nation has already cleared vaccines made by Sinotech Biotech Ltd and AstraZeneca for emergency local use and ordered a total of 63 million doses from 2 producers. The country is set to receive the first batch of 2 million doses of Sinovac vaccine on Wednesday. Isn't that today? Yeah, today. That will allow to start a national inoculation program as early as next week. Now, here's the thing. I told this to my wife last night. I was telling her what the deal was. And she said to me, this is not going to happen.
Mhm.
It's not going to happen in June. She said,
I
no
agree.
way.
And away.
The reason that they're saying this is because, obviously because it gives some hope and, people, oh, wow. But the truth is, if you think about it, if all of the Thais or the vast majority of Thais are not inoculated, they are not going to leave in. They are not going to let in tourists. They're just not going to do it. Why would they let in tourists who are inoculated and they can still possibly transmit the virus?
Yeah, I mean that's the point,
They're
Scott.
not going to do
Honestly, the point is that no one really knows, although they're certainly leaning in this way, that if you're inoculated, it doesn't mean you can't transmit the virus. It doesn't even mean that you can't get the virus. All it means is
Right.
that you'll be protected.
You're safer.
Right.
Yeah, your immune system is stronger, but you can still carry the virus.
Exactly. So you can get the virus, but you won't feel it, whatever it is, but you still can transmit it. So, the whole idea of not having quarantine and all those things, it may happen just because, they want the money. But
I don't see it happening.
But
maybe October, because by then they can vaccinate everybody, and then they can see what are the results of the vaccination.
Listen, we know what the results of the vaccination are going to be because Israel is so far ahead of everybody, and they've had an unbelievable success with it. They really have. It's been extraordinary. They know.
What happened to Patsy Pete? We lost him.
Yeah, he'll come back. He's just probably lost his signal.
All right, listen. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but let's add in the stranded Lori.
I know. Look at that.
Oh my God!
What a headache!
Tell us about it.
Oh, so I get there. Well, I'm getting like conflicting emails from United, and it says either I need to get a coronavirus test before I leave San Francisco. It says nothing about you needing to have a coronavirus test while traveling international. Nothing at all. So I get to the airport and, I'm, the girls tell me, no, I cannot. And they verified. And I said, I have an appointment in San Francisco and it's already paid for me to take the COVID test because to go into Hawaii, it's required. And, it was a no-go. So I just kept calm and was like, okay, so what do I do now?
Well, that's the only thing you could do, Lori, really. I mean, getting crazy.
Now, did you have to pay a fee? Did you have to pay a change fee?
The guy on United, I was with him till like, 2 this morning, or no, actually after that, almost 3:00 in the morning. I was on the phone with him for like 3 hours, and he scheduled me for Friday, and all I had to pay was $17. He was like just a love muffin, and then my trip is shorter too.
Oh, really? Your trip is shorter too.
So I don't go to Korea. So I go.
So where are you stopping?
Narita.
Okay, so what about Japan during the layover? You're okay with them?
Oh yeah, I love Japan.
No, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about for the COVID.
I'm just transiting through. So that's what the international COVID is for. It's for anytime you transit.
Mm-hmm. Mm. All right, so let me see here. Can you go to a private hospital in Bangkok? No, you can't.
No.
And
Mm.
they've been trying to get people to come in when the vaccine comes, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about how what Thais are thinking now. A while back it was said that uh, the health minister Anutin, he had said that oh yeah, we're going to be able to give all the foreigners we're going to be able to vaccinate all of them. Now, I was under the impression that this was going to be like, hey, we're going to, this is going to be free for everybody. I wasn't sure that, maybe I was just assuming that, but, listen, I don't mind paying for it. Just, don't charge me an arm and a leg. Don't think I got to pay, $400 or something for this vaccine, because that's ridiculous in this place. That's just a total money grab. Now, I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't think they're going to do that. And so I've heard, that the price is between 3,000 and 6,000 baht. And then I've also heard it's just a flat, 3,000 baht. It's like $100. $100 for that. I'm like, you know what? It's $100 well spent, you know? But they're talking about that. And then now you have this poll out there. Where's the poll?
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. And what the question basically was, should foreigners be forced to have a COVID-19 vaccination, and should they pay for it? This is from the NIDA, which I think it's a school. And it says less than the third. It says reveal nearly half of Thais think that foreigners should be forced to have a vaccination. I don't like that word forced. It should be mandatory or something like that. I don't know who wrote this. It was the Daily News, so maybe it's the translation. But forcing somebody to have a vaccination, that doesn't sit well. I don't think it sits well with many people, because that's like saying, hey, we're going to shoot you up with this vaccine, and whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not. You don't know what they're shooting you up with. I mean, you can think that way if you really want to, and I can only imagine the conspiracy.
Yeah, you get forced to get the Chinese vaccination. Great.
Yeah. So,
well, listen. I mean, again, as you know, Scott, their country, if it's mandatory that we need to get it, if we're living there.
Well, if that happens and they say I got to take the Chinese virus, I'm out of here. And I'll go get a vaccine somewhere else.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You could, fortunately, go visit your parents or whatever it is and get the vaccine, and then, come back, which I would agree with. That particular vaccine, as we discussed, isn't, gone through the same type of testing as the others.
Right.
But on the bigger picture, though, if the country says mandatory, you got to do it.
Yeah, I understand if it's mandatory, and maybe it's semantics, but I don't like the whole you're being forced.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And the thing is there is no mandatory mask law in Thailand right now. In Bangkok, you are not required to wear a mask when you're outside. It is not, what's the word I'm looking for? It is not prompted. What's the word I'm looking for? Encouraged. Thank you. It's encouraged. And if you go into a private establishment, I've only had 2 cups of coffee already. 2 doubles. I'm still not awake. But it's encouraged, and that's fine. Encourage me to wear it. We have to, you really should wear it. I think you should wear it. Now, if I'm standing, and I said this the other day, and I'll continue to say this, and nobody's going to say anything about it. But like when we were standing in that in the CASHAPP, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, and the security guard walked by and goes, "Sir, please."
Mm-hmm.
Now, he was very nice about it. He wasn't an asshole about it. I didn't have a problem. But, I was standing next to Lori, like 2 feet. She was 2 feet away from me, and there was nobody else around. So, it's like, who knows? But he said, hey, I'm in CASHAPP. That's a private piece of property. Okay, I'm going to do what you say. Now, if I'm walking down the street, there is no mandatory, you must wear your mask at all times. I'm walking down the street. And there's nobody around me. I'm not wearing a goddamn mask. You know what I mean? Like, why? There's nobody around me. and I'm walking down the street and there's nobody ahead of me, nobody anywhere close to me. So why am I going to wear a mask? Is it floating around in the air? Somebody's, sneezed from 500 yards away and it's coming over. No. And so, this is the thing.
Can you imagine if it was like that movie where you could actually see it? Like, how insane.
And you saw it coming towards you?
Yeah, like
little particles.
They had that. What was that movie with? Was it Dustin Hoffman or with Outbreak or whatever it was? And
I don't know. I saw the what was the one
Contagion.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And that actually reminds me exactly of what happened.
Yeah, on Outbreak, on the movie, they show the scene in the plane, and to show like it transferring, you can actually see people's breath and the virus as it's floating, through, and it was really freaky.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. San Francisco is still part of the U.S., so United is stupid. Listen, I talked to a buddy of mine yesterday. Hadn't talked to him in a while. This is a guy who's got the property in Ecuador, my filmmaker buddy. And, he's basically saying as soon as you can, get over to Ecuador because there's a lot of advantages that you don't have in Thailand. And I'm like, yeah, it is worth thinking about.
Yeah.
And he's telling me that, he's ready to just at least live the majority of the time in Ecuador because things are so much more laid back and they've got their act together. Whereas in California, it's how can I say, it's chaotic. I'll be nice about it. It's chaotic. And who wants to live in that constant chaos? And they've made it political. This is a political situation in the United States. It's used for, it's all about the parties using it for their own gain, for their own benefit. And it's not, first and foremost, it is a health concern. It's not a political concern, first and foremost. And that's what I think in the United States is being done. It's different from, say, in Thailand or many other places, Lori, Stephen Moore, how you doing? Lori, you have a great temperament, and that goes a long way in helping with flight changes. Bravo.
What can you do, right?
I would have been pissed, but I would have been pissed at myself, and I would have been like, "What the hell am I going to do?" The thing is who are you going to lash out at? There's nobody you can lash out at.
It is what it is. So
exactly,
you just go with the flow.
Are you going to get back in time for work? I mean, like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I fly out on what day? Friday, and it's just my 40. Yeah,
Skinny.
Anything later,
you make it just in time.
Yeah.
What I was saying earlier was that it's so nice to come home a few days early, and you're like, okay, I'm home now. I can get over the jet lag, and I can get myself prepared. And, I can get ready to roll. And now you get back and it's like, all right, I got to get to sleep. And it's, oh, shit, I got to wake up. The alarm went off and I got to go to work today. It's a little bit different. So you better start preparing yourself. And I know you've been preparing yourself for a while, but you should definitely prepare yourself on that flight to get back. All right, let me see here. We got Patia Pop. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Lori. We got Patia. I'm sorry, Patia Pete. Trying to get his. Where are you, Patia Pete? What are you sitting in your underwear?
No, but I'm sitting on my balcony and just figure out why my gimbal or what doesn't want to stabilize. So what I will figure it out.
Why don't you just use a mini tripod?
Yeah, that would be better.
Or a bigger mini tripod, like something like. Well, this one can't even go any smaller than this.
No, I fixed it. So it's
something like this.
I could fix it. So
or something like
stable now.
Like this. You use something like that instead of the gimbal because you're not moving around. You don't need a gimbal, really.
Yeah.
You just need a tripod.
But regarding the vaccination, I talked to a friend who works in the Bangkok Pattaya hospital, and he told me that right now they do not have a other vaccinations, like the Pfizer stuff, but they will get it, and then you can go there and order it, but they don't know the prices
Yeah,
yet.
well,
So
who wants to
it
do that right now?
would be possible.
Honestly. Why? This is the thing, and they've already told the hospitals not to do that. They've already said, the government's already said, don't start selling this and, trying to get top dollar for it and that kind of thing, because that's what the hospitals like to do. Listen, hospitals anywhere are a business. And man, since I've grown older and, I've had to worry about, taking care of, myself and going into the hospital and taking care of all the bills and stuff like that, man, you get to see that, the doctors generally are very good at most of the places I've been in Thailand. There was a time I talked about it where I went into Wei City a long time ago, before they had received some funding or whatever happened there, and they upgraded the hospital. And I went in. I was just getting ready to leave for Indonesia, and I had something in my eye. It felt like something was in my eye, and so I went in. Like it was like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I had to go see the eye doctor. And the eye doctor's looking at me and everything. And then she whips out a little needle and starts picking at my eye. And I go, hey, what are you doing? You got a needle in my eye. And she's like, oh, yeah, sorry. But, and she goes, you're going to need to go see the specialist. And I said, so you're not going to be able to do anything? I said, I'm leaving in like 5 hours. And she's not, can't do anything. I said, okay. So my wife, in the meantime, called up Bumrungrad, and they said, we'll take him, no problem. So I went in, and they go, oh, you got conjunctivitis. They gave me some drops. I flew, right? Put the drops in immediately. Flew, got there, and by the time I had to photograph this fight, my eye was fine. I'm like, I'm going to have to use my eye, and my eye is like stuck shut or whatever. I'm like, what the hell's going on, So, yeah, it was that wasn't a good experience. That was the one time I had a problem. And I've had some things where I was out in the middle of, like in a village, and I had to have something done, and they were like, we can't help you. My buddy was in Phuket many years ago, and he died. He ended up dying from deep vein thrombosis.
Oh yeah,
and he was down in Phuket, and they told him, buddy, you need to get to the hospital right now. We can't help you here. You need to go to the Bangkok hospital, like one of the higher end hospitals, because they'll be able to take care of you. And this is about 20 years ago. And so he did, and he supposedly got better, and he was doing everything right. He had stopped drinking and all these things, and then the next thing you know, he went back to the States and he ended up dying.
Yeah, see, so this is why my philosophy is you got to...
Can you do that again, please? Is that a Robert De Niro thing, or is that Richard Nixon?
Listen, I'm telling you.
I am not a crook.
That really looks like Robert De Niro.
I am telling you, I am not.
That's right. It was this way. I can't even close my hand.
Sort of like. I am not a crook.
He was a real character, man.
He certainly was.
I talked to my mother the other day about how Richard Nixon shook my hand when I was a little boy, and my father was in the Air Force, and I forget what it was, but she said we didn't want to go there, but it was mandatory that the all Air Force personnel went to that plane hangar and had to go there for that, and they didn't want to go.
That's politics,
for whatever reason. And so then, the guy reaches his hand over, and I happened to be there, like my mother was like holding me or standing there with me or whatever. And I reached my hand out, and she shook my hand, and I was like, oh my God, the president shook my hand. I thought it was such a big deal. Now I'm like, listen, I'd like to go, hey, you want a shot of tequila, buddy? Let's chill out and have a sit down.
Yeah, and so the reason why I was doing that to begin with, and I really believe this, and I just watched this movie that's getting critical acclaim, and I didn't really love it because it was depressing, but Nomadland, it's been nominated for a gazillion awards with Frances McDormand, and basically, yeah, she loses her job, the gig economy, and she winds up living in her van and with all these other people in this community. And anyway, they tell the story, and this did resonate with me. And she said, "Listen, my next door neighbor, he worked till he was old. He bought a sailboat and that sat in his driveway because when he retired, he wanted to sail around the world on this boat. He retired, and 5 months later, he drops dead, and the sailboat never left the driveway. And she said,
That
I
sucks,
don't want
man.
to be I don't want to be the person whose sailboat never leaves the driveway." And I'm
There
telling
you
you,
go.
that's why I retired when I did. I wanted to have control of my own time, and I planned it this way. And not everyone can do that. I get it, but you have to really try and do what you can to fulfill your goals, your dreams, whether that is
Yeah.
learning to play an instrument, speaking a language, doing some type of hobby, or again, getting out of the rat race if you can, and travel, and just life is short, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So I like that analogy they used. I don't want
Yeah.
to have a sailboat stuck in the
Yeah,
drive.
that's a pretty good thing. The guy's getting ready to go out on his long journey, he never makes it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's right.
and a lot of people that happens to.
I think
Let me.
when you can get to retire in a little bit more earlier in your life, you should do it if you can do it, even if you have less money, because it doesn't matter if you have more money and you only have like 5 or 10 years left to live. And so
Right.
better have 20 years and with maybe little bit of money, but you can still live, you know.
You know what? I can say before I came here, I was making a lot more money than I'm making now. And I didn't have some of the things in place that I have now, but um, I was making better money, and I had a good life. I mean, it was a pretty damn good life, and I would say that the standard of living was probably higher than it is here. But it really doesn't. The standard of living here is still pretty good, and but the thing is that I've done things that I would have when I was, a little kid, I would have never dreamed of doing some of the things that I've done. Um,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, those experiences are something that some people they'll sit around and wait, and they'll say, oh well, I got to have more money. I got to, yeah, okay. Sometimes you do need more money, and money is always a helpful tool. But you know what? The thing is that you know, if you get too old, then what are you going to do? You can't experience them. You're not going to experience them in the same way as when you're a younger person. If you're somebody who, I was thinking about this the other day, if I had been 60 years old and I was married and I wanted to move to Thailand, let's say that my wife wanted to move to Thailand with me. Okay, we'll retire in Thailand together. I would have never experienced Thailand the same way that I experienced it when I moved over at 30, what was I, 32. Um,
So
you know,
true. So
I
true.
mean, I would have never met the women. I would have never done the things. I would have never traveled some of the places because I would have been too old. Uh, or it would have been like, okay, I'm going to have to bring my wife. Are we both ready to go? Can we do it? Do we have the money? There's all these other factors that would come into place. So if you can do it when you're younger, not young necessarily, but younger, I think it's better. But it's a fine line. Like, do you do it too young? Like, I would never move over here right now at 32 unless I was really, really flush with cash. I had plenty of money. I wouldn't have to worry about a thing. I would never do it now. This is a different time. You know.
Yes.
Let me get to these messages real quick. All right,
Please do.
sorry. Let's see here. Idiots, foreigners living there in the same damn situation as Thai nationals. Recommend. I flew from Omaha to Tampa tonight, and the flight was half full. There were fools wearing 2 masks without being asked. I don't get the whole 2 masks thing. Oh yeah, wear 2 masks. Yeah, that's going to help everything.
Well, can't hurt.
It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. Sorry. Outbreak, the fog. Oh yeah, that was a Star Trek. Guys, bit of advice: don't stake the Chinese virus. Hello, all. Johnny Siam, there you are. See if you give up drinking your stuff. See, if you drink up giving, you're drinking, you're stuffed. Listen, sometimes I want to have a drink. I feel like I need a drink. I want to have a drink. I like to know that anytime I want, I can have a drink. And that's why now at least I have a little bit of booze at home, but we usually have some wine. We used to always have a couple of beers in the refrigerator. I don't drink a whole lot of beers. And if I do, it's usually only one or two really nice beers. It's not something like Butt Wiper or, some kind of crap beer. And I don't like beer sting. I just don't like it. It's not it doesn't strike my fancy. Let's see here. What's this here? Looks like a Ninja Turtle with glasses. Okay.
Oh, must be
Soy
me.
Dog doing a peacock imitation. Oh, was that
Must be me.
before? With the trick you did?
I like those. I like
Lori,
those glasses.
You're quiet or quiet? I don't know if it's quiet or quiet. Carlos got Pfizer vaccine, no problems. Yeah, listen, my parents got vaccinated a while. It's been a couple of weeks now. They're done. They don't need any more, and they're in good shape. I mean, as far as that goes, they've become vaccinated, so hopefully they're safer. Because they're older, and so supposedly these are the people who need it. Where the hell am I at? Agreed. If you can't wait for later, maybe. If you can't wait for later because later may not ever come. Retirement is not easy. No, and I still have a little magic number, and it coincides with like something like a trip to Ecuador and checking it out and thinking about it, and I have a magic number. We have a magic number together. But we have a lot of things. When you have a family, you got to consider more than just, hey, I want to go to this place. Shit, I want to live on a desert island with like a chick who, she's, I don't know, she does everything I want. She doesn't ask any questions, and she doesn't want anything. She just, okay, whatever you want. I'd love that. Yeah, I dream of Janie. Who doesn't want that? But that kind of thing doesn't happen for most people. Nobody knows how many years each of us has. I miss the difference I made with my work. Yeah, I can understand that. Cleared it up now. 2 masks. Is that Irish? 2 masks, 1 condom, a diaper, and a dental dam. Damn, that's safety. I only ever have a few beers in the fridge. That's because you're drinking all of them. Then you got to go to the store again the next day. I lived there when I was 37 to 45 and then back and forth for years. Okay. All right. What am I going to talk about now? Well, we talked about this quarantine and what they're trying to do. However, here's the thing. I'm going to send you guys a link if I can. Let me see here. Where's it at? Come on. I have everything nice and organized today. I took a little time yesterday and organized everything. So let me put this link in here. This is the Thailand Plus app. This is a fairly new app, and this is the app that if you come in and you're a foreigner, you're going to need to download that app so that they can follow you. And if you actually, it's a pretty good thing as long as it's used for good. If it was used for evil, then people would be screaming. But this is the thing: people are always going to be like distrusting
Evil.
of the government. Yes, $1 million.
1 billion.
Now you do look like Dr. Evil. If he shaved his head and he was completely bald, he looked like Dr. Evil. Don't you think? A little bit.
That's sad.
Oh, I see something else you put as a name there.
Well, I did notice somebody was talking about this on a Reddit group about the app, and they said, you know what? They got to the hotel and they said, no, yeah, we don't care. Like they only use it for the, temperature check and all that shit, but afterwards, people aren't really using it. They don't enforce it. But it is good to have in case, for contact tracing, which is what the whole point is.
Right. exactly.
Hey,
And
Scott, going back to your other topic, by the way, the one thing that I do find disconcerting about the mandatory vaccine or the forced vaccine, however you want to do it, is why for expats only? Like you're living there, and
I
that's
know.
what bothers me. It's like if it's mandatory for everybody that lives in Thailand, right? You don't have some special carrier gene or something like that. And that's what I'm talking about. Sure, mandatory to come into the country from outside, absolutely makes sense. Expats that live in, have been here for 6 months,
Well, I haven't left.
longer.
I haven't left since before. I haven't left since before the this pandemic even started. I mean,
Right.
I came back in December, of 2019, and
Right.
so
That's the point. I don't understand something like that, where you're coming into the country, mandatory, got no problem. Living in the country, and only the Farang. Yeah, that kind of
Thais are like most Asian, a bit xenophobe. So foreigners are foreigners, and the disease comes from not Thai people. So foreigners are the more bad people for that. So they must be
well, we are the
vaccinated.
devil. And some of them actually believe that we are the evil ones. We're the ones who bring all the problems. Yes, you are a filthy farang, and you must not, you must be traced or whatever. But
Yes,
they do
it's
trace
like in
ties,
most countries
fair.
where it's easier to blame like a minority or people outside, and in Asia it's quite common. They're not only doing that to Western people, they're doing it to other Asian people too. They're, it's just like it is.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, interesting. Let me see. Let me hang on one second. You guys talk amongst yourself.
again.
Yeah, continue for one moment, please. I
Yeah.
got to
Or
do a little something
ask
here.
the Thai people how they think about people from Myanmar or Vietnam or Cambodia.
Well,
Oh,
I hate to
you
tell you
will.
this, but think about um every single bordering country, and really the Thais don't particularly like any of them. They don't have the greatest opinion of obviously of the Burmese. They don't have a great opinion of Cambodians. The only ones that they basically uh, are okay with is the Chinese, and that's because of the financial aspect of the relationship, and also Vietnamese, because they know Vietnamese are shrewd.
Yeah, they don't
Uh,
like Indians, so they have
no,
problems with people from India. It's yeah, that's how it is here. Because someone tells you, yes, in the past there were these people, they were bad, so now everyone is bad from that. And
excuse
it
me,
will take a
Johnny.
few generations, then it will be better.
Excuse me, Johnny. You got a message on your Facebook? Could you take a look at it for me, please? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I did say excuse me, so trying to be polite. Trying to be polite.
Don't worry.
Anyway, go ahead. They
Yeah,
don't.
so it's not really that it's just us Westerners. There was many other nationalities.
Right, right.
So
It's just they're very nationalistic. And
yes,
I don't find a problem with that, because growing up, I was pro America. I still am pro America.
yeah. So
And
so
I do
you
believe
don't
I
have to
do
think
believe
that they hate us. They just think
no, they don't hate us.
like we first, then the others. So
Right? Why should we put you first?
yeah, exactly.
However, I will say that my buddy that I was talking to yesterday said, "Hey, man, think about how difficult things are for you, and they're not that difficult, but it's just a little bit, things can be a little bit of a hassle at times." He said, and you've been there for many years, and you have a family, and they still can make it difficult for you. simply because you're not one of them. You're not Thai, and I know that, and I'm, at least for now, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I knew that I wouldn't be Thai, and I'm fine being an American in Thailand. And
Yeah.
if things ever got that bad, then I would definitely go somewhere else. But he does have a point, which is there are many other countries that treat you in a different fashion, and some might call it in a better. You might be better treated. But then it's like, what about your feelings? Does it really matter all that much, or is it about? For me, it's about the hassle, about the money, about are you like? You have to worry about walking down the street, and I don't have to worry about it.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
I
it's a
never have to
balance,
worry about problems with the Thais. They're very good and polite, and sometimes you just keep it superficial, and that's fine.
Correct. Yeah. You have here a lot of freedom to do what you like to do, and that makes up for many things. And yes, Thailand is not a country to immigrate to, so you won't be a Thai, you won't get a Thai passport, except some exceptions. But it's still a good country. You can come without too many problems. There are some rules how to stay. If I would like to go to America and say, oh yeah, I would like to live there for a while, they said, yeah, well, man, this little thing like the green card, and you have to jump to 1 million hoops, and that's not like it's also difficult. So it's not Thailand that the only country is
No, I know,
that's
I know,
difficult.
and that's what people forget. Thank you very much, Tom. Appreciate it as always. Really appreciate the super chat, and also to you, Stephen. You guys are the first two of the day, and so choke D. That's choke D, not Chuck Wow. Choke D. Good luck for you all day and all night. Really appreciate it. And but I was looking for something here.
Hmm.
Let me continue here. Let me go on with this. There's another app that, I haven't heard about that app, Mike Apple, the Cost app. I haven't heard that. Listen, I don't have a problem with the government knowing what's going on, as far as, medically, where am I, what's going on. I don't really care. And, as Edward Snowden once said, he's talking about, well, I don't have anything to hide, so it's okay. I don't feel that way. I feel like nobody really needs to know certain things, and the government doesn't need to know some things too. Um, but that's not the way of the world now. It's like kind of like your tribe wants to know where you are, what you're doing, and unfortunately, in many ways, they got you. There's nothing you can do if you want to live
Yeah.
there. You got to abide by their guidelines. All bar girls will will be barcoded, and you will have to scan before you boom boom. Are you sick, Lori?
No,
Longhorn's asking you.
no, I'm just tired.
She's run down. You should sleep really well tonight. Philippines now
Yeah.
gets a 5-year visa when you buy a condo, automatically renewed.
No,
Steve,
no.
I still think buying a condo in the Philippines. I don't know. I know the Philippines is a great place, and I just, for me, I wouldn't want to buy a
I did
condo
too.
there. And as far as here goes, I don't think financially it makes a lot of sense unless maybe you're renting it out and you got a good deal. And I think Patya Pete could expound on this a little bit. But
Oh
you got to
yeah,
be
a
able to make
lot.
money. You got to be able to make money. Be ready to sit on it for a while to get your money back, and or you need to just say, "Hey, I want to buy something, and I don't really care what happens. Win or lose, it's okay. I don't care if something happens." And I lose my condo, hey, I can walk away and that's not a problem. One thing I learned in the very beginning is that you need to be in a position where if you need to leave, then you need to be ready. And I don't want to say you got to have a bug out bag, because that's not necessarily true. But you should have some kind of a plan in place at all times, even if it's just a little quick jump to Cambodia or Malaysia or wherever, just to get out and be able to settle and figure out, oh, wow, what's going on? And that's never happened to me in 26 years with all the turmoil politically here and that kind of thing. So I just don't really worry about it all that much. But in the Philippines, I mean, I guess, money talks.
Yeah.
In most cases, you don't, money
Listen
talks.
to the money.
And believe it or not, Thailand
Come
has
on, please.
very, very clear laws about properties and how it goes. And it's very safe. They copied this a lot of the European laws for that. And well, it's not that easy that you just go and have a good deal. But it's if you make everything right, it's really safe. So you just have to be careful, like in like the same like in your home country. You not just go somewhere and buy on the next weekend a condo. So you have to do your due diligence.
Check this out, Scott. Do you know how much a one-way ticket from Florida to New York is? I looked this up just in case I have someone drive
I'm
my
going to
car.
say $800.
Wow.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
$35.
What?
Whoa.
I figured it might be higher, but you know what? I thought, it can't. It might be so low that
It's so
Great.
cheap. Like, I don't know if I'm going to fly back and have someone drive my car, but it's so cheap that tomorrow I'm just going to buy the ticket anyway. If I don't use it, I don't use it. I mean,
right. Well, I used to do that with AirAsia.
it's crazy.
Here,
Crazy. How are they making money?
$35.
They don't. They
Maybe
don't.
just,
It's
They just
impossible.
They just need anything they can just to help them get through another month or so.
I
Whatever
mean,
it is,
honestly, I was
whatever
like,
gets you
blown
through the
away
night.
if I could
kind of
see
thing.
it changed. Just wild to me.
Stephen Moore has a condo in Hong Kong. I wish I would have known that a couple 6 months ago or so. Let's see here. Always have a bug out bag. Yeah, I mean, I do have everything in one place. It's not in a bag, but paid at least 6 times the original price. That's not bad, eh? No bug out bag. I don't have enough stuff. I can leave everything behind. Yeah, exactly. The Philippines is a shithole. Well, some people might not agree with you, Johnny. I sent you a message on Facebook. FYI, if you could take a look at it. Thailand has a very good ownerships for people. Look, what's this? Look at Dallas Fort Worth to New York, just as cheap. I paid. Spend over 10 years there, and as far as land, there are different laws. You can have a small amount of protection. That's what I was under the impression. Don't wait tomorrow to buy it. Get it now.
So the prices went up a little bit. So here, look, can you see this? 1 second.
I can't find my glasses, damn it.
It looks a little out of focus, honestly, but basically $54.
Still like nothing.
It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Found a $21 round trip Chicago to Vegas. We'll never again see that fares this cheap. Yeah, they're dying, man. U.S. government money is keeping the planes in the air. Okay, mate. $30 today on Southwest to Tampa today. Wow.
Think about that.
How can you beat that? That's like prices here on AirAsia or Noke Air.
Yes.
Or
$30.
and that's a great reason. I'll tell you what. Even my wife, my wife used to be like, "Nah, we're taking the train," and she's like, "It's it's only at the time it'd be like, it's $25 to go all the way down there. We're going to pay $100 each way for all of us to go down there." And the flights were just maybe a little bit more money, and now it's gotten to the point where sometimes you get tickets and they're so cheap. It's like, how can you pass it up? You just can't. They have these specials where here, I mean, it's like it might cost you $15, like you're saying, $30, and you get to fly somewhere. You're like, holy shit, can't beat that. Baggage fees cost more tickets. Yeah, I was really surprised when we were on our way back and we had a ticket from. It wasn't a flight that we booked from Florida to Thailand. It was Florida. It was Florida to New York, and then New York to Thailand. So because of that, that's considered a domestic flight. We had to pay for the baggage, and we had like 4 extra bags, and it was something like $200. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I got to pay $200 just to have these bags to bring on. I'm like, I've got an international flight. Yes, sir, but they're not. It's not one ticket. It's 2 different separate tickets. I was like, son of a bitch. They charge you for everything now. That's how AirAsia gets you. They nickel and dime you to death.
Yeah, I saw some crazy proposal. They're not like, oh yeah. So basically, the cheapest fare now on some of these airlines are going to be no carry-on, even like you can take a purse, right? But not, your carry-on that you bring with you has to go, if anything, go under the seat in front of you. You can't put it in the overhead bin. And that leaves the room for the people that want the next level of pricing where they can put it into the overhead. And if there's no room in the overhead, they give you a credit, for like refund that's greater than what you paid for the
next thing is if you want to sit, you have to pay extra.
Well, Ryanair came up with a design that you don't sit,
Yeah, like in a bus, you just stand and have a handle.
Yeah, they stand. You stand. They're not doing it, but they have the design. No. Basically, imagine it was like these. I don't know how to look like. They look like seats, but they're standing, and you kind of lean against it a little bit back like that. And you stand, and they're for short-haul flights that are like, New York to Boston is a good example, or,
maybe that's the wave of the future. Is they're just going to have the seats like this, and you're kind of standing, but you can lean back just a little bit,
right.
So that, and maybe if they had little footrests, so that you're not standing, you're just kind of, like there's little foot pegs or whatever, where you have your feet on them, not the ground, and then that way it's holding you up.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of leaning back, and you just, and then that takes less room.
I saw an interesting design of like 2 years ago that they were thinking of doing, which was they were going to make these beds, cabins, almost like sort of like what you see in an overnight train, right? In the cargo hold of the plane. So basically, you access it through the plane itself. You don't go into the cargo hold, from outside. So you're going to walk down a set of stairs, and there are beds. And if you pay, it's cheaper than business class, but it's obviously more expensive than the economy plus or whatever it is. And it allows you to have on a long haul flight, a bed.
Right.
And I thought that was actually a good idea. There's no windows or anything like that. They're just like pod hotels, if you really kind of imagine it.
I've stayed in one of those pod. What are they called? Tubes, or what the hell are they called?
Yeah, like in Japan, when they have this mini sarcophags where you sleep. Coffins.
Included in ticket price on United Airlines, you get small carry-on plus. Hey all, hey Dowlow. Okay, so let me get to this next article. Like I said, nearly half of Thais think that foreigners should be forced to have a COVID-19 vaccination. Less than a third thought foreigners should have any choice in the matter. Yeah, well, I'd like to meet those people. I tell you what, get the Chinese vaccine. To give the Chinese vaccine to those people. There is talk, what I've been hearing is, the prime minister doesn't want to take the Chinese vaccine. He wants one of the other vaccines. He doesn't want to take the Sinovac, which wouldn't surprise me. While nearly 40% of respondents think foreigners should pay for the vaccine themselves, with nearly a third suggesting only taxpayers should get it for free. I don't have a problem with that. Meanwhile, retirees are way down the list of folk on the vaccination pecking order, under even students, according to the poll. Now, see, to me, that doesn't make any sense. You have students who are a lower risk group than people who are retired, tend to be older, which are retirees. So wouldn't you think that those are the people who need it more?
See.
Like maybe that doesn't matter. I don't know.
It went down. It went down.
$24 one way.
Less than 10% thought it was worth vaccinating people in the tourism industry first.
Crazy.
Wow. Now, the NITA poll was entitled "Who Should Get a COVID-19 Jab First?" and was split into several categories like where, who, jobs, and foreigners. This is only 1,318 respondents, which is not all that many. 44% thought all foreigners should be forced to get the jab. 28.22% thought it was up to them. 26.25% thought foreigners who represented a high risk should be forced to get vaccinated. The rest didn't know, didn't answer, or were not interested, just under 0.99%. So who should pay for foreigners to get vaccinated? 38.92% thought foreigners should pay themselves. 31.72% thought legally paying tax in Thailand should get it for free. 25.72% said everyone should get it for free, irrespective of race. So 1 out of 4 Thais actually think that. That's
surprisingly a lot.
Yes. 0.6% thought the state should go halves with foreigners. That's only 0.68%, so that's not very much. 2.9% were in the I don't know group. Asked what places should be targeted first for vaccination. The results were 56.9% provinces hit hard in the second wave. Let me go on here. Asked what jobs, professions, or special groups should be targeted first. 40.48% thought that should be workers in the medical field. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Medical. Absolutely. I would think medical, food, things we need. Plumbers. I'm joking, but sort of. 14.4% thought general workers and those doing physical work. 8.87% said those in the tourism sector. 7.57% said equal weight should be given to all. I don't think that's what it should be. But anyway, so that's this poll here. Politicians were reserved for last place. Just 0.48% thought they should get preferential treatment. Yeah, and that person that 0.48% doesn't amount to many people, and those people or that person, you never know. They could be a family member of somebody who's a politician. So they thought, they should get preferential treatment. You never know. So that's interesting to know. Capsule hotels. Yeah, that's what it is. The CCP vaccine didn't include older people in the study. I think 60 and older. So nobody above 60 are taking it. Wonderful. In Australia, people in my age bracket are in 2A. This means we get our jab May to June 1st. Sex workers first, skin-to-skin contact, including fluids. Well, I don't know if you're trying to be serious or not, but I think that's actually pretty good because you're right. Listen, sex workers going to be like, okay, you're going to get you're going to get a Hummer, but I got to put my mask on. Let's have sex, but I'm going to be in a full body condom. Oh, that's going to go over real well. Longhorns volunteers to poke all the bar girls. Okay. Phalangs go after soy dogs. Ooh, is that an attack on the soy dog? My needle doesn't have enough penetration, Carlos. Can we not start on that? We don't want to go there. All right, now because I'm going to go in a different direction. Believe it or not.
I'm buying this ticket right now. So
yeah. Patya Pete, what are you doing? Just sitting there chilling?
Yeah, I was just listening. Oh yeah.
Nice view there. All right, so let's talk about toilets, shall we?
All right.
Starbucks of toilets makes a splash in Thailand. This is all over the news. Amid COVID wave, the Mr. Loo chain of public pay potties emerges as a winner. A chain of pay public toilets has emerged. I'm gonna do my best Ron Jeremy voice.
Oh my God!
A chain of what?
Before you go on to this is incredible. So I just booked this ticket because it was so cheap, right? One way was $30 in total. So it said, hey, you want to see the actual price of the ticket? I said, yeah, let me take a look. The actual flight is $14.88.
Wow.
The tax is $15. So that's what $14.88 What the fuck?
And Nexus, they pay you for flight.
Yeah, like that's might as well just pay me.
Well, maybe they will pay you to fly. You'll get some, refund or something.
And if I need to change the flight, no change fees.
Wow.
My God.
That's
Wow.
United, or what airline is that?
American.
American.
And it's
Well,
maybe
listen,
that's
the
right
last time I flew American, I have to tell you, the last time I flew American, which was quite some time ago, my most memorable part of the flight, and it wasn't a good memory, is that I was sitting there waiting for my food, and along comes a stewardess, or whatever they call them nowadays, air waitress. And
flight
Flight attendant.
is that what it is? I thought it was air waitress.
I don't think that's any better than stewardess, Scott. I got to be honest. Yeah,
Aren't they a waitress? Aren't they a glorified waitress
Let me-
who has some safety training?
Excuse me, flight bitch. Flight bitch.
No, I wouldn't listen, I'm not going to call him a bitch, okay? That's uncalled for. Excuse me, waitress? Excuse me, waiter?
Hey, is that skirt not short
all
enough?
right, whatever. What is it? A flight hostess or what do they call?
Flight
Air-
attendant.
Flight attendant.
Excuse me. Flight attendants. I've been gone a long time. I don't know about all this stuff.
Forget
The
about it.
flight attendant was walking up and down the aisle, and she was a big woman, and she was not like your normal flight attendant, like from the past in my time when I was young and I was flying, where you go, wow, she's lean and sexy and has a beautiful smile. No, this was like one of those ladies who had been in the business for like 30 years.
Big mama.
She was pushing like 180, 200 pounds. She was a big woman and very commanding. She was like, you could tell she was the head, waitress. And flight attendant, sorry. And she was walking up and down the aisle, and I was like, she kept bumping into my arm, I'm like, okay. So, she comes over, gives me my food, and I just thought, what happened to the smiling, jovial, friendly waitress, flight attendant? Now I'm getting myself into the habit of saying that. I shouldn't do that. What happened to the old days when the lady would smile? Oh, hi. How would you like anything, sir? She wasn't like that. It was just like, here you go, And so then I'm like sitting there, and I'm thinking, I got to go, do my business, right? And I go over. This is what I remember. I go over to the toilet, the lavatory, and I'm standing there, and there's a woman with her kid standing there. She's also a very large woman.
How large was she?
She was like large Marge. She was probably pushing about 250.
She was so large that when
80.
she sat around the house. She sat around the house.
Her blood type was ragu. Oh, God.
Wrapping around the house.
Anyway, so she's standing. I've told the story. She's standing there at the door with the kid. The kid's, Mommy, I gotta go to the toilet. I gotta go pee. And I'm like, I hope the kid goes in. Somebody comes out. He probably just took a dump. And the lady's standing there. She tries to get in. She can't fit through the goddamn door.
Oh my God.
And so the kid's like, Mommy, and so she puts the kid in the bathroom. She's standing there. The door's half open. The kid's got his little pants down and, doing his business or whatever. She couldn't fit in the bathroom. She was so big, that's how big she was. She was so big, she couldn't fit in the bathroom. And I remember her and that flight attendant from American Airlines. That has jilted my impression of American Airlines now. And the food wasn't very good. That's what I remember also. And I'm like, okay, note to self, don't fly American anymore.
I asked myself what she would do if she needed to go to toilet.
Well, yeah, maybe she had a strong constitution, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Trolley Dolly. Excuse me, stewardess. Is there a movie on this flight? Yeah. Excuse me, waitress. Can I watch the movie? Oh, God. That doesn't go over very, very well, I'm sure. Hips would dislocate your shoulder when she walks by. That's the kind. Exactly. She would hit me and I go, oh man. And I would be like, I'd see her coming and I'd be like, leaning over, and the person next to me is like going, like, why are you leaning into me? I'm like, because I don't want large Marge dislocating my shoulder.
Large Marge.
They don't give you anything on a lot of domestic flights. I mean, I haven't obviously flown very much in the United States. For
Soy dog, what's going on there?
What is that? Do we really want to know what that is?
I just had to go to the bathroom, and this thing.
Oh, we were talking about toilets. Jono, what is this?
You know what this
Soy dog
is?
Jono?
Yes.
This is a Costco Slim Jim.
Interesting.
100% beef Slim Jim.
What do you have that in your hand there like that for you?
That is Costco Slim Jim.
He's very confident with his hands there, yeah.
Yes, he is. Is it good?
Here's a nice comment. Hang on a second.
Smoked?
Finally, that cup has been empty a while, sort of cup. Lori, please help these two. Yeah, we need help. Christopher Root says, size people in glass houses. Actually, I'm not a small guy, but I'm definitely not like a round guy, and I'm not like a large Marge type. I'm just broad-shouldered. I got a bit of a belly, and other than that, So, listen, it is what it is. I mean, for a woman, that's a big woman. A woman pushing 300 pounds. That's a big woman. Now, maybe in the United States it's not. I don't know. But I mean, hey, who are these women? And why are they pushing 280?
Look at you.
All right, see you later, Christopher Ruth. That was nice, though. Listen, I got no qualms about me. I am what I am. I got. What are you going to call me? Follically challenged? I mean, okay. So, and you're fat. Okay, so now what? Let's proceed. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. And when that's the lowest form of degrading commentary. And I understand that, but I was making a point in that's what I remember about American Airlines. That was my memory. I got two massive women. I mean, listen, you were going into the bathroom with the kid. I was like, Jesus Christ, that chick hit with a straight right. That's it. It's over. That's like a George Foreman club that she hits you with. Or you must be tired. She can't stop giggling.
Oh,
Did you
that's so
see
funny.
that crazy fight between the two wrestlers and the two football players at I think it was OSU bathroom?
No.
It was so great. So basically, this football player, two of them were acting real tough and picking a fight, although they say it was the other, but the video proves otherwise. And these two guys who have been training for MMA for like 10 years, like they were wrestlers, beat the living shit out of them. Like they picked the fight with these guys, and these guys, took them down so fast, like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
The guy had orbital surgery, and it's like you got to.
This is the thing. I mean, like a lot of guys are big guys, and I've seen it here in Thailand many times, and I've seen it, in just on the street and stuff. But there's a lot of times when, some guy is a little guy, and you got some big dude, and the big dude thinks, hey, you know what? I'm going to go after this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick on him. And the little guy ends up beating the crap out of him. And, it happens all the time at these little they don't have them really now. But when the older Muay Thai fighters would put on shows and they would call somebody out of the audience to come up and get in the ring. And there'd be some big, strong guy, and you'd be like, wow, this guy, he's kind of built or whatever. Maybe had a little gut or whatever, but big dude, right? And a little guy would just jump up and elbow him in the face or something like that, or, knee him to the side, and that'd be it. The guy would be tired in about a minute. And so, I think you got to be careful about that. But listen, when you get hit by somebody 280 pounds that knows how to hit you, that's it. And if you really want to watch a good fight, watch George Foreman and Ron Lyle, one of my most favorite fights ever. Fantastic fight. They just knocked out, and it's got Howard Cosell announcing. Just the greatest, man. I mean, down he goes. Oh man, it was, and the other one is Foreman and Joe Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Fantastic. So let me get back to this. Get back to this thing here. Hang on one second. Oh yeah, this kind of figures. Let me see here. Yeah, sorry. Where are we at here? Starbucks toilets. Okay, with public awareness of wait a minute, the facilities, Mr. Lou facilities, like as I'm going to hit the Lou, a Swiss startup that aims to be the Starbucks of toilets. With public awareness of hygiene growing as the deadly virus spreads.
Hey, put your picture in the middle. Why am I in the middle here?
I don't know. Hang on. What am I? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Your story.
Maybe you need a member card to use these toilets, like these Starbucks.
With public awareness of hygiene growing as the deadly virus spreads, the operator of upscale toilets is winning popularity in Southeast Asia by emphasizing their cleanliness. It's very clean. In fact, you can eat maple walnut ice cream off the toilets, and there is no bad smell. No, they didn't put that in the. They didn't put that in the article, but it does say it's very clean and there are no bad smells. It's worth spending 10 baht, 33 cents. Chanya wrote. 48 said after using a restroom operated by Mr. Liu in a shopping mall in Bangkok's Chinatown. Guess where Scotty's going? I may even go there tomorrow and check out the Mr. Liu.
Luxury shit.
The wood-paneled booth is well air-conditioned with popular Thai music playing in the background. A fragrant aroma fills the room. All right, listen, I draw the line at a fragrant aroma because, listen, all you're doing, it's like putting cologne. You haven't taken a shower in a week, and you haven't washed your ass, and then you throw on some cologne.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? It's like you go into the bathroom and they've got a fragrant aroma going on, but people are taking dumps. Now, I don't know. Maybe it has one of those little vacuums that vacuums the stench.
Yeah, and then you smell like this super aroma, and then people know, oh, he used the luxury shit. Very good.
What does this put Lori in the middle? All right, Jesus.
No.
You're in the middle right now.
Yeah,
I'm in the middle with you.
Let's see here.
Hey, Scott, good news.
Yes.
I just read. Nutritionist says pizza is better for breakfast than most cereals.
Well, that's because most cereals have all that sugar in them.
That's right. So pizza for breakfast.
Well, I had pizza for breakfast about a week ago. The wife bought some pizza.
Love it.
We were talking about what we're going to get. She said, let's get some pizza. She got some pizza after our debacle about we were going to get the crab cakes, and then we had the burritos, and they dropped the pizza and all that. That debacle. She went back.
I can't believe
she went to the mall. She had to go to the grocery. She went to the grocery. She went to the pizza company and got these huge pizzas, and they were really good actually. They were like pan pizzas, but they were really, really good. And
I can't believe the guy dropped the pizza and the wings when he arrived at your house.
Accidents happen, I mean,
that must have been like oh my gosh, like what a killer.
Yeah, I don't know. What happened here? Let me see something here. Wow, wait a sec. One second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always doing something here while I'm trying to do, talk to you and keep up with everything while I'm trying to make sure that I have further content to provide. Oh, what is this? Let's see here. You got something else?
Hi, Carlos.
Google alert. I always get these alerts about the news, and I always want to see, what's going on with the news. Is there anything breaking and, extremely important? But usually there's nothing extremely important. But let me do something here. I didn't mean to do this here. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, when it comes to these, have I caught up with the messages? Hell no, I'm way, way behind, aren't I?
God, keep control of your stream.
Oh no, I am. I'm okay, I guess. Yeah, okay. Good night, guys. Got to be in the firing range tomorrow, early rather. Catch you next time. Okay, Carlos, take it easy. I'm not gonna say. I was gonna say something, but I better not. It has to do with the firing of the weapon. Later, Carlos. Good point, Longhorns. All right. So now here's the thing. On average, pay toilets in Thailand, including those in tourist resorts, cost about 3 baht per use. Mr. Liu charges 10 baht for air-conditioned premium toilets and 5 baht for regular ones. In the Chinatown Mall,
10
there are
baht.
free toilets. Yeah,
All day.
10 or 5. That's a premium one that has the wood panels and the beautiful music and the air conditioning in the toilet. Inside of the toilet area. It's like a booth. And 5 baht for regular ones that don't have air conditioning. So I'll be using the air conditioning one. It says, in the Chinatown Mall, there are free toilets on another floor, but many choose Mr. Liu. And I'll tell you what my wife said about this. Her exact words were, so you got to pay to take a shit? And I was like, yeah, well, where have you been? I said, don't you know, in Happy Land, and you go into Happy Land Center, and I think there's only one or two bathrooms, and you got to pay 3 baht. And if you remember one stream, I don't know how long ago it was, but not long. It's been a couple of weeks maybe. I went into the bathroom because I had to take a wicked leak, and I had my gimbal, and I was like, all right, let me go in here. And I go in, and as soon as I go in, there's like 3 stalls. And so I'm always looking for stalls because there's a place where you can set down your bag or whatever inside the stall, and you can close the door. You take a deep breath and get all set up, and then
get all set up.
Do your business, as opposed to just going up to the stall and you got a gimbal in your hand and a bag on your shoulder, right? And it's a little more difficult to maneuver. And so I look over in one of the stalls. There's the door is open. I go, oh! I look over and I go, ah! And there was like a huge dump sitting in there.
Wow.
And I just and I moved over. I told my wife that too, and she's like, ugh! And so then I'm like, what did I pay? And she's like, you should have asked for a refund. Get your 3 baht back.
Yeah, I got to use
true.
one.
That was a good.
God, man, unbelievable.
Chatuchak, at Chatuchak, they charge to go to the restroom there.
Yeah, it's pretty common. Nowadays, it's 5 baht usually.
Vietnam
What is
too.
this? Wow. Well, you got a hater there, Robert De Niro, Dr. Evil. Oh shit! Oops. What happened? Uh-oh. Do I not have sound? What happened here?
I guess he timed out. Happened to me sometimes too. When he has to
maybe
reload.
There he is. I was going to say he's got somebody saying you need to shave that head there, sort of cowboy.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: why is it other people care so much about how you look or what you're doing?
Well, I think it's just a little conversation.
MYOB. Mind your own.
It's a celebrity.
Business. Well, here's the thing. You don't know me. You don't know him. You don't know Lori. You don't know all these people. You don't have a position in this person's life. You got no say. He could tell you, piss off, or he can say, oh, well, yeah, I know. He can say whatever he wants. But bottom line is, you really don't have any right to say these things. That's like saying, no, listen, Adam, soy dog, listen, you need to lose 14 kilos. Why haven't you done that yet? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I do need to lose 14 kilos.
Yeah, but so what? What about them? Are they perfect?
Doesn't,
I
it
know.
doesn't.
I know.
But, it's a stream. Uh-oh. What are you hearing? Hearing voices?
People jumping in the yard or something. I don't know.
Huh.
Anytime I hear people close by, it's women inside men's rooms. Oh yeah, that happens all the time. You go in and I'm like ready to whip it out, and there's some old lady, mopping the floor, and she's standing in front of where I just was walking to take a piss. I'm headed towards that pisser.
Always, right? Always. You just
Moves
go
right
to
in
the
front of me. I'm
toilet
like,
and they're coming
my
in.
zipper's coming down. I'm like, can you? And usually it's when I'm like, God, I gotta go. Shit, I gotta take a leak. I gotta hurry up. I've been walking around in the mall or doing whatever I gotta do, and then I'm like, get out of the way. Just
Turtle heads poking.
No, I don't ever do that there. Never.
No,
right?
yeah.
You don't need. That's disgusting. Anyway, let's go. We can hear you. Sounds fine. I don't care how anyone else looks. I have no say. Exactly. It's a suggestion from a new viewer. You are on a public platform. You can say whatever you want. So can I. You can react however you want. Yeah, I can react. And I know, well, you weren't busting my balls because you're talking about him, I think. I don't know if you're talking
I
about
don't even
me.
see the comment anywhere. Where was it?
Because Longhorns, he hit it.
Oh.
And then I just looked at it.
There
He's
you
just
go.
busting your balls. The thing is you come in here, you don't know this person. You haven't said hello. You haven't said jack shit. And so, it's a bit impolite to go in and assume that you have the right to do that. And while it is a public platform, I agree. And maybe you didn't mean anything by it. I agree with that. Okay. You can say whatever you want, and people can react however they want, which is you can get banned. You can get, told to piss off or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Now he's a pretty mellow dude and he doesn't really care. So,
Have
and
you
he is
never been mellow?
challenged, just like all
Have
of us.
you never been high?
What is this? I give, I go anyway, give her a jolly.
Stephen Moore, look at that little comment. I
No
like
idea
that
what
one.
that means. It's difficult to know people's intention just from text messages. Personal comments could be an insult or it could simply be someone trying to care. Exactly. The only thing is that I personally believe that if you're going to show some caring, maybe you should say hello first.
Hello, is it me?
Or
Monetized.
or unless
Monetized.
Demonetization.
They probably don't even understand your singing. It's so clear and crystal clear and smooth,
Yes.
or
like
it could be
Lionel
that,
Richie's.
or it could be that they'll just pop out a comment for attention. Attention seekers,
Well, yeah.
just to get a rise.
It doesn't really matter. It's all irrelevant in the bigger picture.
Yeah, no one cares.
That, you just live your life and you don't worry about other people all the time. That's for me. That's my own. I worry about, those that are important to me. And honestly, and I've said this a long time ago, and some people got pissed off at me. There are people in this stream that I really do genuinely care about. And that I want the best for everybody. And but like how many people have the time to go, oh my God, I care about every single one of you, all of my fans. Okay. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't consider people my fans. I'm not saying that. I'm not on OnlyFans. Which, I don't know what that whole platform is all about. Aside from, I thought it was something where like chicks go on and they do all kinds of nasty things, but apparently it's for more than that. I don't really know.
It's more adult entertainment.
As
Women and men.
Like butt naked kind of entertainment.
Yeah.
Wow.
It can go there.
I saw someone that I know who's apparently has a channel over there, and I was a little bit surprised because I thought, isn't this like nasty stuff? I was like, I wonder what they're doing there, But to each his own. Whatever. All right, so it looks like Bob's not going to make it today. He's probably he's listening. I don't know. Maybe he's asleep. Hopefully he's getting some rest.
I will call him later.
Taking care of business. So anyway, that's enough about those toilets. Maybe I will go to Chinatown tomorrow. Even though I'm anti-China,
Quality testing of the toilets.
I may have to go in and at least take a look and show you guys the Mr. Lou toilet.
Yes.
From Switzerland. And they've got these guys. It's so funny. They've got these two guys, kind of young guys. They've got their beards and they're all in their white shirts. And in the front, they're in front of this Mr. Lou logo. And they've got the logo is Mr. Lou. And in the O's of Lou, there's a pink. And then there's a female, like the shape of a woman in a dress. And then there's a blue, and it's a male. That's their logo. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that logo, and I'll have to go to the Chinatown Mall. I don't even know. I have an idea where it might be, but I'm not quite sure. But I'll take a look, and maybe I'll go tomorrow. That might be my place to go tomorrow. Go down to Chinatown, go take a look, and check out the toilet. How much more exciting do you guys want?
Looking for the big dumps.
But I don't want to go look for a big dump. Listen, I'm not going looking for anything.
Just joking.
Okay. Now I got it. What is this here? Yeah, I don't know where this is. We don't need to tell where. We don't need to give away Patia Pete's location.
You can. There's so many people living there. That's the Niren condo.
Okay, so this guy was right. Maybe some good dim sum. Yeah, that could be. I do miss that place. There used to be an old lady that worked in that place, and Longhorns has been there with me and my mother, I believe. I don't think my sister was there. I don't remember. But he was there with me and my mother, and I think Bo and the kids. And I've been there many, many times at this place, and they always have really, really good dim sum. The thing is I get good dim sum right across the street from my house, so I'm always like, I'm not going all the way down there for some Chinese food, But if I'm down there for another reason, then it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe I should stop in there. Was this exciting? Includes watching it spin underwater until. Oh God. That's what excites you? How low we have fallen, how low our standards have fallen.
The deep dive to the new bathrooms.
I want to have an exciting stream. I'm going to go show the toilet and show. No, you can mark my words. I will never show any dumps in my stream. If it gets stuck, that's really exciting.
Like halfway. Just halfway there.
And this video would turn up on some fetish sites in Japan or something.
It'll be in Mr. Lou's on their corporate website. They'll have videos, and they'll show the
1 million views in Japan.
This is from YouTuber, an American in Bangkok. He showed in our Bangkok store, one of our Bangkok locations. He showed our toilets in use. Take a look at this.
How smooth it is.
Let's bring it up, people. Up out of the gutter, that is. Exactly. I didn't.
Now decide, he has a commercial contracts for testing toilets all over Japan. Yeah, that's how you make your career. All it started with a big dump.
Oh God! You know what? I'm gonna put
too much coffee.
We don't. I'm sorry, Patia Pete. Go back to I know nothing or something like that.
Yes.
Just go back to saying that. We don't need to say the word dump. I'm gonna have to put the word dump into the banned words or whatever.
I guess
that
so.
and hottie. Which Stephen Monash is not here right now. He might have got pissed because I told him I might put it in the banned list or whatever. I don't know. Pam spray in the toilet so it won't get stuck. Oh God. Richard, how you doing? What's happening? Hope you are well in these strange times. We're going to be streaming for about another 20 minutes, I believe, and that's it. So we've been talking about all kinds of subjects today. My thing is that the most important one is the waiving of the quarantine rule. But of course, that's like my wife said, that is not going to happen until the majority of the Thais have been vaccinated, because you can't just have people coming in and that. I mean, if you're going to go by the past year, you're not going to allow people to come in and
Yeah, I think so too.
spread the virus. I mean, that's their logic. So, Jesus, we don't need any more of this poo talk. All right, let's get. I'm sorry I brought up. I thought it was a nice thing to bring up the new nice toilets. There, only 10 baht for an air conditioned toilet. We don't need to get into the details, okay? And the details that's talking about spiraling downwards and that kind of thing. We don't need to get into that. That's too much information.
I think like most of the other people
Richard.
that.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the choke D to you, Mr. Richard. I hope you're doing well. I'm waiting for your commentary on these lovely subjects that we brought up, or I brought up, or whatever. Hey, listen, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, or if you really want to, leave a thumbs down. Makes no difference to me. You can leave a thumbs up, or you can leave a thumbs down. And if you're going to leave a thumbs down, maybe leave a comment as to why you left a thumbs down. Is it too much poo talk? Too much talk about the hotties? Is it some other reason? Is it you don't like the view? Is you don't like me? Whatever it might be, let me know. That way maybe I can make the stream a little bit better. I'm always looking to make the stream better, We want to improve and progress. Don't you think, Soy Dog Cowboy?
I don't know how this stream could get any better, Scott. It is that good. Of all the streams that I have seen,
surely you jest.
This stream, above all streams, out of the park home run.
It sounds so genuine.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like my. Well, I'm not going to say it. I don't want to go there.
So hey, let's see that. Pete, you're in Central Pattaya. Off of Pattaya Glang?
Yes, actually, really, it's next to Big C Extra.
Okay. So my question to you is, it's an interesting area because I've been around that area a lot. I don't know anybody that lives there, but I've seen the buildings there. I've seen the restaurants, etc. What you have? A 1-bedroom apartment?
Oh, I have I bought 3 condos together and make basically bigger condos now, like 75 square meter.
Wow. Okay, so that's pretty big. That's almost 850 square feet. So you have 3 together. It's one apartment. Yeah. Do you rent or you own this?
I own it.
Okay, so I'm curious. So what would something like that in today's market in Pattaya go for? Not particularly that one, but just something similar.
Okay, so the Nairan and these condos are older condos, so. Right. They are one of the very few places where you don't have to pay fantasy prices. So I can tell you a normal condo, like 26 square meter now there, is like 600,000 baht. If you buy 2, then it's 1.2 million baht, but you have to look a little bit that they are connected together, and then you make it nice. You have to renovate them, but for that price, it's unbeatable in the center of Pattaya. Because if you want to buy something new and super good looking, where you don't have to do anything, you pay basically the double.
Right. So that's interesting because 600,000 really isn't a lot of money necessarily,
No.
right?
But you have
cheap.
to renovate it now, so
You know, what is that? I mean, that's crazy. That price was at $20,000 US.
yeah.
I mean, that's just a bizarre price, to be honest. I've never seen anything that cheap. 8 square meters is really tiny, but
26, yeah, but you buy two together, then you're already over 50, and if you're lucky, you get one more, and you're bigger. And there are also
that's what she said.
bigger rooms and this stuff. So but you have to look, because normally the prices are really the double of it, but then they are newer, and but that does not mean that they are better from the structure. Right.
Yeah, no, but if I'm paying, I usually pay about 25,000 baht a month, right? If I do the math there, it was about $700. Something like this, you just buy it and you don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Obviously there are other downsides to ownership, but that's at that price, that's absurd.
Yeah, I
But
do this
you
also
can't
for
rent them out
friends.
for all that much unless you really do some renovation to it and make it to where the value is there, because there are a lot of places available right out there, in Pattaya there's generally a lot of places available and the prices are pretty reasonable.
Yeah, but not in that,
So there's
that
competition,
area.
not the area you're talking about.
Yeah, because it's in the center, and there are only a few condominium complexes where the prices are that low, because normally you're looking 1 million baht for 26 or 24 square meter, and then people think already that's cheap. But if you can get it for 600,000, you invest 100,000 in, and then you have it like you want to have to look at it, and it's completely renovated and nice. So
And how much can you rent that out per month?
Right now less, but without COVID, about 5,000 to 6,000 baht.
Yeah,
If they are nice renovated. So
yeah,
you're
so
looking
it's a
about
little bit
over
it's a little bit of an
10%.
income. If you just pay for the thing, you pay
Yeah,
you pay it outright. It provides an income basically. That's what it does.
Yeah, if you have some more of these condos, you have like, yes, every month 5,000. If you have two, then you have every month 10,000
Right.
baht, and they are easy to sell also. It's not like you have a super expensive condo, you have to look a year for a buyer. So many people do like that. So if they have, let's say they have like $1,000 pension, and they have some money, so they buy themselves like 3 condos for rental, then they have 15,000 baht more. So this helps also, but it's not that super easy, right? It's not like, oh, you just do that and magically everything runs well. So you have to, like everywhere, you have to work for that and figure out the things.
Lori, what are you doing?
You caught me.
Daydreaming? I'm tired.
Getting some fluids in me.
Oh, I thought we were getting having a coffee.
Oh yeah, no, I have.
God, I had 2 coffees and I still need another one, man. I'm like, I don't know what it is, Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I'm like, man, I need more. Maybe I need to have a big cup of coffee instead of just some espresso.
Yeah, that
But
probably
I got
is it.
Maybe, but I got some things to do after the stream, and so I'm gonna I'll go get another coffee for sure, because I can just feel it in my eyes, And it's funny. I don't know, Soy Dog Cowboy. You have any problems sleeping at all?
Oh yeah, I mean,
There you go. Lori, you have problems sleeping, correct?
Oh yeah.
It comes with age,
Yeah, I guess. I got a couple of buddies that Patia Bob has said that he doesn't sleep very well. Jono he wakes up and boom, he's like cleaning the house and stuff like that. He's got all kinds of things he wants to do. And really, he'll tell me, and
Man,
it seems like when you get older, you sleep less. I think that's what the norm is.
yeah, my parents get up at 5 a.m. every day. It's like,
but I've been getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. since I was like 16 years old.
yeah, not for me.
I wish I could sleep sometimes, and the only time I do it is if I have a busy day and I'm out traveling, and then I come back, or if I'm with the family or something like that, we have a really busy day, and we go back to a hotel or we come back, to our house or whatever. And, it's like 11 o'clock when we get to sleep. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, it's 8 o'clock right now. And I'm like, I can't believe I slept in this late. And then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go back to sleep. And then maybe I wake up at 9. For me, that's a lot. I mean, you're never going to catch me. Like my kid will sleep in. Alex will sleep in. He'll stay up till 4 in the morning playing guitar. And then he'll wake up at 3 in the afternoon,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And I'm like, I wish I could sleep until like noon. I just can't, I don't know. Maybe it's the coffee. Maybe I need to just go cold turkey on the coffee and see how well I sleep. But I've tried that and I didn't sleep very well. I just started
You got to get over it. You got to sort of get over that hump.
I hear that word every day. My wife says it. My kids say it. This morning, Nicholas said to me,
the humps and the bumps.
I was telling Nicholas, listen, I'm kind of torn. I don't know. I might have to go and get my beard completely shaved off. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to. He's like, no, shave your head and trim off get your beard, like fixed up, trimmed, and, have them put a little beard wax or beard oil in there or whatever. And, he knows what I want to do. He goes, but leave your head semi-bald, kind of like Soy Dog Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Look younger.
You would look younger.
And I'm like, I don't care if I look younger. I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm not old. I know that. But I don't really care about the look, the visual. I'm not trying to, land my future ex-wife or something like that, And I don't think I look bad with a beard. And I really don't care if I do. I think I look fine. And that's all that matters, So
it's a very new age attitude.
Is it? I don't know.
Let's turn to the mirror.
Anytime now. I just can't stay asleep.
It's our daily affirmation because I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And doggone it, people like me.
Yeah, but see, I think a little bit differently. I put it a little bit differently. If you don't like me, that's fine. I got to like myself. And sometimes I'm kicking myself. And, I hear, oh, you shouldn't be so hard. You shouldn't be so hard on yourself. And I'm like, no, that's kind of like for me, that's if I didn't give myself a kick in the ass once in a while, maybe I wouldn't push myself at some things that I do or don't do, But, generally, I don't want to be one of those, like, love yourself first. Always love yourself. You need to love No, it's not about loving myself. I am who I am. You are who you are. Listen, you can't change that face, Soy Dog Cowboy. I mean, you can get plastic surgery. You can do what you want. You can put in a rug. You can do whatever you want to do. But, the bottom line is you're still the same person. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm not trying to be, insulting. It's just that's the truth. Yeah, I know you're pretty mellow about that kind of stuff. But some people would I can't believe you said that. You hurt my feelings. We don't really have people like that in my stream, or at least not people that talk in my stream or can get in the stream and stay in the stream. They usually don't last.
See, Tom's crazy world. He's sleeping 8 to 9 hours a day. Little bastard.
You bastard. Richard, 4 million. What? What is this? Stephen, 4 million. 4 million US. Jesus Christ. It's crazy, man. So you're not hurting. You're not hurting all that bad. At least if you get rid of it, you wouldn't be. But I guess it's a cash cow giving you that much every month. Shit, I would have liked to get on that boat a long time ago.
What's
How
4
come
million? What's 4 million a month? 4 million baht?
I think he's talking about the condo he rents in Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, I mean it's Hong Kong.
Wow.
Hong Kong is property prices are insane.
Yeah, it's like I'm renting out my place in Brooklyn for a ridiculous price because it's Brooklyn. It's nuts. It's not. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, listen, it's all insane to me, but
Is it?
it is. It's crazy, I tell you.
Yeah, I guess that's there's a lot of crazy things going on right now. You have not worked in decades. Yeah, well, you know what they say: do what you do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. And sometimes I feel like I work my ass off, and sometimes I feel like holy shit. I mean, I've been on some trips where I just was going to write something, or I doing photography, or even like Hong Kong. I mean, that was work. That was straight up work, right? It was hard work. But you know what? I loved being there. And so it didn't feel like, I got to go I got to go to my job and clock in today and, sit behind the desk and listen to my boss give me shit. I didn't have that feeling when I was in Hong Kong. I felt like, yeah, all right. Now what's going to happen? It's like rolling the dice. It was like gambling. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it felt. It's like that's what I like. I think that's what travel and adventure. That's kind of what it appeals to people. That portion of a person that it appeals to. You don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
What's around the corner? Even going to say to Chinatown. You don't know what's going to happen when you walk down the street there, when you turn left and go down this little alley. And then, you're like, oh, shit, I forgot about this other alley. Oh, I don't know what alley is down there. I don't know what's down there. I'm going to go down there. And you just never know. And to me, that's really appealing because you don't get bored that easy.
Well, and it's a adrenaline. It's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we all like that here, or most of us do at least. Maybe some of us don't want to travel around very much, but I do. I still do. And I mean, like, listen, I bitch and moan about what it is I'm just like, I'm fed up with the whole, and I've been fed up for a long time, ever since 9/11. I didn't particularly, one thing that put me off is when I was going through the airport and I like accidentally forgot to take out my laptop.
Yeah.
And this lady just read me the freaking riot act. And I wanted to tell her, you know what I wanted to say. I wanted to call her the C word. I wanted to call her a twat. I wanted to, shut the hell up, you pig. I wanted to just get nasty. But you can't do that. Now maybe I can, let it loose sometimes here in the stream. But like the truth is, if you're in real life and you do something like that, you end up in jail, or somebody goes, please step aside. I'm going to have to check your, we're going to do a body cavity check.
Yeah, of course,
So I didn't say anything. Sorry, I'm very sorry. And inside I'm going, you fucking twat. You know what I mean? I'm like, and it was just a simple thing. It wasn't that big of a deal to me. I mean, it's like, oh, sorry. And she went off on me for like a minute. About why I need to do this. Couldn't I read? And I was like, holy shit.
Oh, you couldn't read, or how come you can't read?
Well, they had a sign up, and I just I don't know what I was doing. You know how you are when you're in an airport and you've been traveling, and you're like,
yeah, I know.
You're just foggy.
Fog,
You're fog, yeah.
Yeah. Hong Kong has a lot of private clubs that you would never believe how it works. Yeah, I'm sure they have some really phenomenal places there, clubs like that. I've been into a few clubs here in Thailand that were generally places that no foreigners go unless they are accompanied by,
Longhorns.
some fairly. What is this? Not taking your laptop is as bad as leaving your passport at Super Rich. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, Lori. Go on.
Oh my God.
Go ahead. What do you want to say? You left your passport.
No, the lady forgot to give it to me.
Yeah, but you forgot to get it back.
Definitely your fault.
It's your fault.
All her fault. But she came by yesterday on a motorbike taxi and
It was the same lady.
gave it. Yeah, she was the same lady, and she
They probably
was
gave her
just so
shit at work
sweet.
and went, "Get
No, but
over
she
there."
was. I told her, don't even worry about it. Like, if everything was, because she was
Well,
asking me for
all
my
is
Thai
well that
card.
ends well. That ends well, you know.
But she was like, I'm so sorry. She like hugged me, and I hugged her. I'm like, don't worry. I felt so bad, but she
Lori's
was
a
really
hugger.
sweet.
She likes
I
to
am
hug
a hugger.
me. You know, me. I'm not like generally a hugger, except with my wife, you know, and my kids. With my wife and my kids, my family, yeah, okay. But like people in general, I don't care if they're my friends or not. I'm always like, you know, like, yeah. I feel like I should be relaxed, but no, I don't feel like being, you know, I don't know what it is, you know. I'm just not really, you know. It takes me a little while to like feel comfortable to like if somebody came up to me that like I had never met them before and maybe I talked to them once and they're like, I really want to meet up with you, man, and they came up and gave me a hug, I'd be like, you know, fuck, you know, what are you doing? You know, or some guy, you know, some girl came up and gave me a kiss on each cheek, I'd be like, oh, now I wouldn't be, you know, that would be okay, you know, but because it's, you know,
Yeah.
that's a little different. What is this? Longhorns. I have a ton of real estate here as well in Florida. Good. Florida's a good place, obviously. That's why a lot of people are there right now.
I'm in Florida right now.
Yes, I know that. That's what
Did
we're
I
talking
tell you
about.
it's $30
About you,
to
man.
fly home?
We're talking about you, man. The soy dog cowboy. There he is. Cebu,
80
Philippines.
degree. We got a beautiful weekend coming up.
Cebu, Philippines is next. Listen, I liked Cebu.
Cebu.
I liked Cebu. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't like Cebu Airlines very much because they were always, you know, they always were, they were always delayed. And then it was like there was one time I was taking like a 2:00 in the morning flight, and they're like, "We're sorry, but we're delayed." And you're like, "Okay, so you know, like, what's the deal? When are we gonna?" It'll be somewhere around 9:00, sir. So it's like 7 hours. You can't leave the little area where you were in, and they come over and they're like, we have some sandwiches, and they gave like those little tiny, you know,
Tea sandwiches.
sandwiches with like one little square of cheese in it, a little tiny square of cheese in it. Here you go. This will last you for, you know, the next 7 hours. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really nice, you know. I've seen places where they, you know, like airlines where they give you like they bring pizzas out, you know.
That's
but
crazy.
Like I got the little square and I just went, what the hell is this? You know. Yeah, that was a rough one. And I needed to get there at a certain time, and I was late, and you know, anyway. That's neither here nor there. I bought in 2009 during the crash out of bankruptcy. Okay. Who did we lose? We lost Patia Pete. Patia Pete, his battery probably went dead. It's too bad. We had a nice little view there of Patia.
Yeah.
We've missed Patia Bob in his little drive arounds.
Well, you know, we don't need that every time.
Twins, the Laurel and Hardy of Patia. That's what their nicknames have to be now. Because they are a laugh. They're good fun. And there's something else I was going to talk about. What was it? Well, we already talked about the toilets. I don't know. What the hell did I want to talk about? Oh, well, we got drunk police officer shoots and beats vendor on Bangla Road in Phuket.
Yeah, that was crazy.
25-year-old vendor. He got shot and then basically took a little bit of a beating. He got shot in the stomach.
Ooh.
And, you know, this is one of the reasons why I try to stay away from drunks. I don't know that it's necessarily, you know, indicative of how Thais are when they are drunk, but people in general tend to get a little bit crazy when they're drunk, and things get escalated very quickly.
Yeah, that was a weird story, though, because it looks like he accidentally shot this guy. He was really hammered, and he was trying to get into a club, and then couldn't get in, and then he whips out this gun and he fires it, and this guy's just walking by, gets shot. But then he goes up to the guy who he shot accidentally and starts shooting at him like he was really crazy.
And he kicked him before he walked away.
Yeah.
So here he is. He's back. Oh, we see him. There you are, Mr. Handsome Man.
Outside.
Hello, handsome man.
Hello, here I am.
We expected to see your girlfriend, but
Nah.
I guess we can accept you. That's all right.
Yeah. I'm much. I would say I'm more pretty than the girl, but that's not true.
No, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, but
Scott,
I don't know.
Yes.
I gotta go. I gotta go get ready to go get my COVID.
Oh, okay.
stuff
Yeah. What time is it? Oh, it's
At
11:30.
At 1.
How far are you away from there? Where you got to go get
it's
it
at
done?
Victory Monument.
Oh. Are we going to take a grab?
Mojito. Mahidon, yeah.
Yeah. You can take a grab over there, or you can take the SkyTrain.
I was gonna take the SkyTrain, but I may
think it's
just
fine.
take a. Huh?
I'd take the SkyTrain.
Yeah.
Then maybe you take a motorbike.
Back.
Over to I don't know how far the hospital is. If it's how far you have to walk, and with the heat, you don't want to go in there all sweaty.
It's hot today. It's really hot today.
All right. Well,
That's why I have to go
I was going to call you Larry. Let's let Lori.
All right. Well, good luck, Lori.
Do her.
Thank you.
Her thing. She's going to have to go get tested. For the virus that came from China.
China.
All right, Lori. Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Okay.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Scott, why don't we all just?
Yes, we're at the 2-hour 30 plus.
Yeah.
And we've had a nice little stream here, relatively trouble-free, relatively fun. So, yes, it's about time to hit the road, Jack. Maybe tomorrow I'll go to Chinatown. Sort Out Cowboy, I will let you and Pete go, and I'll finish up my stream here, do my business. So thank you very much for joining me. Pete, you seem to have made some headway. You're doing well with your gimbal. No major problems, so that's great. Good to see.
Okay. See you.
All right, I'll talk to you later. And if you talk to Bob, just hopefully he feels better, okay?
I will.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Ciao. All right. Okay, there we are. Yes, it's crazy. What is this? Yes, it's crazy now. Starting to move into more secure stocks. I don't know. You guys are having your own conversation. That's fine. The virus is so deadly you have to be tested to see if you have it. Yeah, I don't get this all. Listen, I've resigned myself to just, I'm hitching the ride. That's about all I'm doing. I'm along for the ride, and, I'll do what I have to do to conform, and I don't have any problems wearing a mask. I don't particularly like it, but I don't have any problem doing it, and I think, it's probably a good thing. I don't think you have to wear 3 masks, but, whatever. But definitely when you're out in the hot sun here and you're all alone, listen, people in the park, they walk around all the time. They don't have a mask on. They're walking by themselves. They're walking with their partner or whatever. They don't wear masks. Some do, some don't, but a lot don't. So, that's how it is here. And we're very fortunate the way that it's been handled here, I think, and who knows, maybe in another 6 months, everything is going to be fine, but much, much better. And this will be in the rear view mirror, or in the rear view window. I guess it could be in the rear view mirror. Anyway, how come this is not, no wonder. Let's see here. We got the technical difficulties here. Oops. Let me just figure this out here. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in. Sasha, I was wondering about you. Long time no see, really. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm sure you are. You always seem to have your shit together. Yeah, we're at about 2 hours and 40 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. 2 hours and 40 minutes. I think it's a perfect time to cut out. I got people to see, places to go, and things to do. So please, if you wouldn't mind, please leave a thumbs up. I just get up later. Oh, I see. Please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Leave a comment down in the comments section. I'd appreciate that. And I'm going to be putting up some videos. I'm going to be putting up some other things. And if you haven't yet joined the channel, I would appreciate it if you don't mind. There's a $1.99 tier, $3.99. You can join Patreon. You can use the PayPal, the Cash App, which I still think is a great way to send money. My buddy was telling me about Zoom, and I forget. I think I tried to sign up with Zoom, and I couldn't for some reason because of Thailand or something. I don't know what the deal was. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Well, thank you, Paul T. Oops. I also like Apple Money. I guess we're gonna head to this cashless society whether we want to or not. But as long as I can, I want to stick with cash. I like cash. Cash is king. And gold is, what is it that the guy said? Gold is God? Yeah, something like that. Gold is very good here in Thailand. It's a very good thing to hold on to a little bit of gold. If you ever want to do anything and you don't want to have the cash, you can get a little piece of gold. You can stash it somewhere. You can't forget about it, though. You can't forget where you put it. But you can stash a couple of 4 or 5 ingots of gold. It doesn't take much space up, and you got yourself a couple $1,000. Pretty good way to stash your money if you don't want to put it in the banks and have it fairly accessible. Thai gold, very nice. What is this here? Not as deadly, but people with minor symptoms have had lingering problems 6 months later. I don't want it. Yeah, I kind of was wondering, have I had it? Has anyone in my family had it? Do we just not know? What's the deal? Inquiring minds would like to know. So anyway, thank you very much. Hey, T-shirts. We're still using that code Orwell, ORWELL. Go down in the description. There's a link to the merch. You get 15% off for now. And you can get T-shirts, mugs, all that good stuff. So that's all I have. I'm done. Big fun today. Big fun. Anyway, that's all I have. So until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Let me see if I can do this here. Choke D, Jerkan Mai, all that good stuff. Let me see if I can keep playing this here. If I can do this. It should work. Let's say goodbye. Leave those thumbs up. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Choke D, Jerkan Mai. Choke D. That's good luck. And until next time, let me see if I can. I wish they had some quick buttons that you could use in it. The way that this is set up, you've got to click one button and go to another place, then click another button. It's not exactly the way that it is most conducive to doing things smoothly, but maybe I'll figure it out. Who knows? Maybe I'll get a producer. My buddy was telling me, he's the filmmaker buddy of mine, and he's telling me about how, I should do certain things. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. I only got 2 hands. There's only so much I can do myself. So anyway, let me put this back up here. Thank you very much for watching. There we go. See you later. Hasta.